I'm Holly Constant.
And I'm Maddie Hockaday. We really love Parks and Rec, and we really love behind-the-scenes details.
So we're researching everything from DVD extras like deleted scenes and commentaries,
plus interviewing cast and crew who actually worked on the show.
We also bring on guests and friends to geek out about everything parks.
So join us, you tropical fish.
This is literally the best Parks and Rec rewatch podcast.
We're your park pals.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
Okay, well, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's kill
All right,
it.
everyone, we're doing it. This is crazy. This is the finale. It is nuts. So insane that we're finally here.
It's the last finale if you think about it, because our next one will be the series finale.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
last season,
it's
I
last
guess.
season finale. Yeah.
Well, so quick follow-up from the last episode, 1 in 8,000. I said that I would check if Dean Holland ever was a cinematographer, because I think that I had mistakenly said that, of course, he was a cinematographer. He edits and directs. He does all the things. But it looks like he hasn't had that actual role credited to him. I'm sure he's had a hand in it and everything, but, you know, he's a very prominent producer, director, and, of course, editor, like I said. But he has never been credited with the role of cinematographer that I could find. Someone else tell me if I'm wrong, because I'd be happy to be proven wrong, because he definitely seems like he could do that. But yeah, that's not completely true what I said last week, or last time.
So, Holly, for those of us that are not all the way versed in that kind of stuff, what does a cinematographer do?
Oh my gosh, great question. I really wanted to get Tom McGill on here to discuss this, because this is he's a cinematographer for the last couple episodes. But the cinematographer is technically a director of photography. So if you hear the term DP, that's what director of photography is. They're also a cinematographer. There's like a whole union and everything that you can join. But basically, they're responsible for how the show looks and feels. So they deal with the lighting. They take photos to make sure, like, is the lens right? They set up a lot of like the framing for where the light's going to hit exactly. So if you see, like, we actually, if you remember Mike Trim, who was a cinematographer that we interviewed, or Michael Trim, whatever he wants to go by, we interviewed him, and he was talking about how he was not really used to the cinematography on parks, because there wasn't that much cinematography detail going on, because it was a documentary. And so we want, but that's not to say that it wasn't a lot of work, because the mockumentary style, you want that like harsh light, that fluorescent office lighting, you know what I mean? Whereas the cinematography that he was used to was like a Madonna music video, where he was making sure that all the lights were like really Vogue looking and like spectacular and fantastical in a way. So that's what the cinematography is about. And actually, the Oscars, if you watch the Oscars, the First Lady cinematographer won for Sinners. I believe she was a cinematographer. And she is responsible kind of for like taking pictures of all the cast and making sure that their skin matches with the light, and how the light matches with the sun, and like the dirt in the background of whatever was going on in the Sinners will like be lit in a way that shows the feeling of like, this is this rustic, like old-timey country, you know, what's the word I guess I'm looking for, like foresty plantation energy, and so
dark.
that is
It was
dark,
like kind of
that's
dark energy.
Yeah. And that is what they are responsible for. They play such a hand in it. And Shauna is Shauna Hagen, who we interviewed as well, is a cinematographer. She was a camera operator on Parks, but she's a cinematographer for Somebody Somewhere on HBO. So good. You guys absolutely have to watch it. It is emotional and heavy, but the cinematography there was really great too, because she was taking and like those like external shots of like the town and stuff. A lot of the times the cinematography has a hand in that too, because they want you to get the feeling of what this town is, and it really sets the scene for like how you're viewing it. They're in control of how you as the viewer see this project and see this world that they're letting you step into.
Yeah, great explanation. Super clear. And I think most of us have no idea every step that goes into putting a show or a movie together.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
It's so wild, all the things that have to come together for that. And then, the cinematographer is working with the director pretty heavily as well, because the director has a vision too of how he or she wants, or they wants to be seen. You know what I mean? So it is wild that, yeah, you're just looking at this, like the square of your TV and not realizing that all this emotion and energy is coming through because of so many different people's visions. Wild.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So, like, that's why I was saying that Dean could have absolutely had a hand in it, because he's such a good editor. But I feel like that wasn't his role. So,
yeah,
just wanted to clarify that.
Cool.
Great question. Okay. All right, so this episode is called Moving Up. Oh my gosh, crazy. Biggest thing they've ever done. And to be honest, I wrote a little note that I am a little nervous to review it, because I feel like pressure and stress that, to just get it right, because it's such a fantastic episode. Like, I really feel like I could have taken off work for this to review these, because of how many hours I spent on it. So I know we'll miss things for sure, as, humans are wont to do, but hopefully you can take the fandom and just kind of run with the things that we've given you. But this is like every Parks fan's dream. Like, everything is coming together. All of the people that we've ever seen, I feel, have come on in this episode. Aubrey Plaza actually has an interview that I found regarding season 6 finale, and she says it's kind of like a Parks and Rec nightmare, which honestly is a great, like, that's a good metaphor for me, because like it's literally all these rando crazy carnival type characters coming in, and like also with like demons too, Tammy and Jam, and everyone coming out to play. Like, so I thought that was a really funny little metaphor that she used. And Tammy and Jam aren't even really in the first part. They're in the second part, which is insane. Yeah. And then she also related it to The Simpsons, where all the random characters come out to play. So I thought that was a really interesting metaphor too.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we have a lot of Simpsons crossover in Parks people, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so season 6, episode 21, original air date April 24th, 2014. Insane that this was so long ago, but also not that long ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 12 years.
I know. It's insane. And it really makes me think about the people that message us back. I'm like, thank you so much for reaching back into your vault of memory for 12 years ago. I'm surprised you remember anything. It's crazy.
Some of them are so detailed too. It's impressive.
Yes, which I think is a testament to some of them, how much they loved the show, because they just like go right back into it. Is amazing.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is credit. I just wanted to cover the like length of the finale. So technically it's credited on IMDb as 2 separate episodes, because technically it's like 2 episodes on one air date. And I believe how that's the syndication worked when this was, and by syndication I mean how they put it out on TV to all the different networks, like regionally or whatever. So because it's so long, we will obviously split it into 2 episodes as well. So they went ham. They brought in everyone, like I said. And like I said, also, I posted this on social media as well. But like, I usually have it down to a system. But this one took a longer time, because I feel like in the first 6 minutes, they mentioned so much shit. And I was like, oh my God, pause every 5 seconds. And I'm guessing this took a couple weeks to shoot, because they did 1 week in San Francisco. We do see San Francisco. And then they do the Unity concert another week. And I can't imagine the logistics that you have to pull off to get the Unity concert together, because the interviews that I was reading, it was truly like a true music festival. They had actual tents, actual vendors. They did not use CGI like they did in Harvest Festival. All those extras are real. The stage was real. The signs were real. Like, all of this was like a true, Coachella for Pawnee.
And the musicians were real.
Yes, the musicians were real. That hologram was CGI. I will say that, of Lil Sebastian.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Fair.
But yeah, I mean think
of that coordination.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then the travel plans for these bands and the communication. And we'll talk about it a little bit later on. But the idea that Andy is in charge of all of this really freaked me out. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing to see the growth. Because he really does, like, you see little tidbits of him actually having like professional communication with these people. And I was like, oh my God. But so it's both meta and not, because I feel like the actual planners and casting and all that kind of stuff had so much to do in this episode.
Yeah.
which is amazing. And the next thing I want to do before we get into each episode or each scene is that I did find an article. So there was a little bit of confusion on whether this was actually supposed to be a series finale. A
Oh,
lot of fans were like, wait, why did they put everything in here? Like, were they meant to wrap everything up? Because it does kind of wrap everything up at the end. You're
yeah.
kind of like, I mean, it's a cliffhanger in a way because Ben's wearing a tux and you're like, what's going on? But it could have ended on this, if you think about it, really, on this season or in this episode. So I was just going to read this article from Vanity Fair that I found, and I'll post it in the show notes. You guys should read the full article. It's really fun. But anyway, this is what it says. To the untrained eye, last night's Parks and Recreation might have looked like a series finale. Leslie found a way to switch jobs but stay in Pawnee. Tom finally found a successful business venture outside the Parks Department. All the characters were content and happy, and then a surprising 3-year time jump revealed them even better off in the future. And indeed, executive producer Mike Schur says all those plot lines had initially been meant to wrap up the entire show until NBC all but promised them one more season, and they had to come up with a way to leave us on the edge of our seats until fall. So,
Wow.
yeah, crazy, right? So Mike Schur is saying, okay, so oh wait, sorry, were you about to say something?
That I was going to clarify. So the network had said, okay, we're going to let you do season 7, but it wasn't like in writing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Essentially,
wow.
like Mike Schur and the writer and Aisha and Alan Yang, who wrote this, which I'll get into, they are Aisha is quoted. Aisha is the baby store girl, the Dale Earnhardt baby store girl that I always mention. But she is quoted as saying, like, we always kind of write like we might not get another season. Like that's kind of, because it's just so fickle, the entertainment industry. You just never know if you're going to get another
Hmm.
season. And a lot of times, even if it is in writing, sometimes they're like, well, never mind. Like, we're just not going to air it because it's not getting the money that we want or whatever fucking reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and so they always wrote as if they were going to end with the hope that they would have another season and they could finish it out. But this one in particular, yeah, they wrote it thinking that they were pretty much going to wrap it up. And then NBC was like, well, we will promise you another season, actually. And they were like, okay, so let's finish a way to wrap it up. And they did a great job. I mean,
Yeah.
it could go both ways. Like, I could definitely, like we just said, you could absolutely see the elevator reopening in season 7, even if you hadn't seen it before. Like, that could be where your mind goes. But if you never saw another episode of Parks, you'd be like, great way to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agreed.
So Mike Schur says, is quoted here as saying, we were given really every assurance that we would have another season. So at that point, we were like, well, we can either radically reconceive all these big story moves that we're doing to try to leave things more open-ended, or we can just figure out a way to take everything that we've got that we like and throw a crazy wrench into the works. And then out of the brainstorming session came the idea that we would jump into the future, quite literally into the future. And I just thought that was more interesting. So it didn't seem right to screw everything up.
Yeah. It's the right call. It's different too.
Totally. I think, I mean, I know I'm biased, but I really do feel like this is one of the best season finales of TV. And they just wrapped it up in such a great bow, but like at the same time could have opened it too to like have that next season. So I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree. And like the acting of it too, and like the growth that you see in the characters
Yeah.
in the very end, right? It, like you're saying, you could be like, oh, that's so cool. They all ended up like happy and doing like growing, right? But then when you watch the first episode of season 7, you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna see what they're actually doing.
Yes. Yes. Which
So
I think
very
we don't
cool.
get a lot of the times with series finales. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
but what happened? I do this with books all the time. I finish the book and I'm like, I know it was supposed to be open ended, but tell me what happens. Like, what did you, the author, and the author's like, well, that's for the audience member to come up with. And I'm like, no, I want
Oh
to know what
yeah.
you thought.
Yeah. I can't do very many of those.
It's so funny.
Yeah. It's hard.
And then the last bit of the Vanity Fair article says, even though it looks like Leslie Knope will get to stay in Pawnee forever, our time in that town is indeed close to an end. Elsewhere in the massive, utterly fascinating conversation with Entertainment Weekly, Schur admits it's fairly likely that next year will be the last. The natural rhythm of the show and the big creative jump we take at the end of this season certainly suggests that we're moving in that direction. So
They knew.
we're getting to the end, and he knew, which, like, makes total sense because he thought that it was basically going to be over in season 6. So what a crazy surprise. I'd love to talk to Mike Schur and ask, like, were you excited that you got an extra season, or were you kind of like, oh, it's like this big anticlimactic moment of like, I thought I was done now, which I know that everybody would, the whole cast loves this show and loves being on this show, and I think the crew did too. So I'm sure everyone was like, it's still excited, but it's like, you thought you were kind of done and wrapped up, and now you're like, oh, shit, now we got a whole other season to produce.
Yeah. Well, he had already started Brooklyn Nine-Nine at this point, though, right?
Correct.
Too. So he had a whole other show. He was also...
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And Dan
fathering.
Gore created that with him, who was also a Parks dude, and I don't believe Dan Gore is in the writer's room anymore. I think he also directed a couple, maybe 2. I can't remember, maybe not, but he definitely wrote some Parks. So I think he's kind of doing that, while Mike Schur at this point anyway was still show running, and show running is basically stage managing, meaning you are doing everything, and like making sure the logistics are all running well. So Mike Schur is still on board for Parks at this point. I don't know for next season if he's show running. I think he is. I can't remember though. So I'll look that up in season 7. But that's kind of what happened with The Office, because Toby, or what's his name in real life? Oh my gosh.
My brain is going to say Toby Flinderson, but it's Paul Lieberstein.
There you go, Paul Lieberstein. Because Paul Lieberstein took over show running when Mike Schur left to go do Parks. So this is kind of, weaving in and out of who is taking care of what. So, yeah, it's crazy. The logistics that go into this is just something that no one ever thinks about. And they do such a good job because you can tell that, it was like we the audience are not supposed to know that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we're just supposed to have a good time. And they really succeeded in that.
Agree.
But yeah, I thought that was crazy. I thought that was wild that this was supposed to kind of sort of be the end. And then NBC was like, oh, but you get another season. So
cool.
So cool. So this was written by Aisha Muhar, like I said, our Dale Earnhardt Jr. baby store lady, and Alan Yang, our bass player of Mouse Rat, who gets to come back at the end of this episode. And then directed by Mike Schur, a.k.a. Mose from The Office. I don't mention that enough. You guys,
I know.
We haven't talked about that enough. That if you watch The Office, that is Mose. Mose is Mike Schur. Mike Schur is Mose.
And he's just the most perfect Mose.
He's so good. My God.
Every time I see him, like especially in that episode where Jim and Pam go stay at the beet farm, and he's just running next to the car.
Oh my God.
I die. I'm like, that guy's one of the most intelligent people in the world.
And then just like jumping over all the cars and the school bus and stuff. And it's just like, that's so funny that they gave him that.
Yeah. So good.
Oh my God. Yeah. So all these people are pros and people I've spoken extensively about, so I don't need to do a breakdown. And I thought it was just hilarious that at this point, I'm just like putting the most minimalist thing that they have on their resume to describe them. But I still love it. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so I finally have summary written in, which I'm sorry I stepped on your toes a little bit with the Vanity Fair article, explaining a little bit of it, but it's not going to be the same. So let's just listen to yours and forget about it.
Yes. Well, and I only did a summary for the first half so that
that's perfect.
Like we know what we're going to talk about, and then so everybody will get the second half summary when we put the second episode out. Okay. Leslie, Ben, and Andy head to San Francisco. Leslie continues to struggle with her decision to take the national parks job. Cones of Dunshire makes a surprise appearance, and Tom tries to open his new restaurant in time for the Unity concert.
Yay! Okay, great. Oh my gosh, so much shit even in that, like, oh my God.
For real.
San Francisco, are you kidding me? Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say since we are doing kind of just covering everything, I do want to play some trailers that I found, promo trailers back Brown trailers from Amy Poehler, Adam Scott, Aziz, and Donna. I just think that it would be really interesting and good for us to set the scene of what we're about to see, especially Amy's. I really like it. So I'll just go ahead and play those. Let me find it.
So we started off in London, and we're finishing here at the Unity concert in good old Pawnee, and the season has Leslie having to make some big decisions about her next move. And we're shooting awesome, crazy stuff today. Yeah, we're going to shoot in San Francisco for the finale. I can't give any spoilers away, but it ties into what Leslie may or may not do next. And we also are doing another really cool secret surprise shoot that I can't tell you about, but you'll be very excited when you see it. We find out that Leslie is pregnant with triplets, and her reaction is really funny, which is just basically, she's just super psyched and pumped. And just like, I did it, I nailed it. So she, like everything she does, she's doing it to excess. Yeah, I'm excited about playing that storyline a little bit. Well, what's been really fun is, like every local government, Pawnee's always struggling with money and funds and in fear of someone taking away its cityhood. So it had to combine with its richer, kind of better looking half, Eagleton. And this concert is the product of Leslie trying to make that merger work. And Leslie has a great villain in Jeremy Jam and Councilman Jam, played by John Glazer, who's always trying to get Pawnee and Eagleton to secede. So this concert is kind of like everybody's hard work paying off. And we have Genuine performing, who is Donna Meagle's cousin. We found that out in like season 3, and she blackmails him and makes him come do this, or else she's going to tell secrets about him as a little kid. And that's how we got Genuine to do it too. We blackmailed him. There is a cover band called Bobby Night Ranger, and the band that's playing those characters is Yola Tango, which is an amazing band that we've all known and loved. They're playing Bobby Night Ranger. They only sing Sister Christian over and over again. We have Jeff Tweedy from Wilco came and did the show and played a guy who was in a very famous local band who broke up called Land Ho. So they're reuniting for one time only, and I think Andy Dwyer is going to join them, and we may see a recurrence of Duke Silver tonight at some point, played by Nick Offerman, maybe giving us a saxophone treat. And we have the Decemberists, an amazing band who actually our creator Mike Schur directed one of their videos one time, and they're playing. And also Letters to Cleo, which is a great band that had a big hit in the 90s that Ben, the character of Ben, played by Adam Scott's obsessed with. So we get to see them perform too. Like all of our finales, it's not wrapped up in a neat bow. It's left wide open. And the fact that we're coming back next year is exciting. Yes, at the festival we see Freddie Spaghetti, John Ralphio, Joan Calamezzo, Perd Happily, all of our famous people. Mona Lisa Saperstein, Jeremy Jam, all these people and so much more, and they're all kind of converging back on the town for one night only. Not only is this Unity concert a culmination of the characters in Parks and Rec, but this goes to show how amazing the crew is on our show, that they put this together in a week, and the writers are all here celebrating too, and so it's like a really nice goodbye for us for season 6, because we've all worked so hard, and it's really fun to get to party with Genuine.
Okay, that was it. Oh my God, I love hearing Amy Poehler talk about parks. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, you could tell how proud she is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I love hearing all the sound checking in the background.
Me too, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like a legitimate music festival happening right now.
It's awesome.
Oh my God. And I love how she is talking about how she blackmailed Genuine. That was really fun.
Yes.
But I love that she brings up the crew, like how hard the crew worked in that 1 week to put together that full episode. That is so crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to Adam Scott's.
There's a lot of bands playing. Some of the great bands that are in music right now. The Decemberists, Jeff Tweedy of Wilco, Yola Tango, Letters to Cleo, Ben's favorite band. So yeah, it's a Genuine's plan. Not to mention Mouse Rat, of course. So there's just like tons of great music. It's super fun. They have a huge like festival stage set up, hundreds of extras, booths. So it's an actual music festival happening. Mike Schur was really into Letters to Cleo in college, and so he wrote it into the script, and I wore the t-shirt on the show. And so apparently now the band never actually had this t-shirt on their tour or anything, so now they've made the t-shirt and are selling them because of the show. So it's actually very nice that they've gotten some a little bit of exposure. They're a great band, and it's great to see. I think it's great. I think if anyone can handle triplets, it's Leslie Knope for sure. I don't know about Ben, but I know Leslie can handle it. Yeah, it's good. It's crazy. It's going to be crazy with three babies crawling all over the place. There's a movement to secede, to bring Eagleton and Pawnee back apart, and so this concert is to kind of raise money to keep the two towns together, a unity concert. Whereas Councilman Jam is trying to secede Eagleton back from Pawnee. So we're just trying to raise funds to keep the two towns together, and it's actually a huge success. We weren't sure if it was actually going to be pulled off in the first place, but they were able to pull it off, and somehow Leslie was able to get a giant music artist. Actually, it's not actually Jeff Tweedy and Wilco. It's a fictional band called Land Ho that's playing. So Mona Lisa's coming back. John Ralphio's coming back. Tammy 2's coming back. There's a little bit of this is an incredible finale episode because there's a little bit of everything from the past 6 seasons gets kind of thrown in and mixed up in this episode. I think it's a really perfect season finale episode in that way. It kind of touches on everything that people love about the show. It's been a great season. It's been super fun. It's always a blur, and then at the end of the season, it's like, wow, we've done 22 of these in the past 9 months. So it's been great. I think it's been an incredible season. The writers are as incredible as ever, and just the material's been great. It's been a really, really fun season.
Yay! I love it.
So good. You can hear Amy Poehler yell, "What?" in the background.
Yeah.
So funny.
Oh my God, it's so good. I might cut some of that down. I don't know. But I like hearing all of it. It's so fun to me. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree that, yeah, if anyone, Leslie can handle it. And as we saw, Ben was kind of freaking out about having triplets. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Just a couple more. The next one is Aziz, a.k.a. Tom. I really liked his.
It's a big day for him. He's finally opening Tom's Bistro, and he's trying to make it coincide with all the big Unity concert festivities, and it's really, really the biggest day in his professional life. Well, since Tom's Bistro is such a big deal, obviously everyone in the Parks Department is helping Tom out to kind of help him achieve his dream. You have Ron helping him make chairs. April is trying to help and be a host, and it's everyone's kind of coming together to try to help Tom make this thing succeed. Well, I think this season you kind of see Tom is finally starting to get some smarts under his belt, and the hope is this one will be the one that really takes off and is his big dream. There was a talking head like a few seasons ago where he talks about how he wanted to open a place called Tom's Bistro because the word bistro is classy as shit. And that was what was said in the show. You can believe that. And yeah, so it's kind of a culmination of all the work he's done so far has kind of led up to this moment. Yes, at a certain point, things get a little grim, and Tom needs some reinforcements, so he calls in John Ralphio and Mona Lisa, who are always quite a duo to deal with. So it was fun to have Ben Schwartz and Jenny Slate come back as well. Henry Winkler comes back as Dr. Saperstein, and it's just so fun for me as an actor to get to play the scene where Henry Winkler, who is like legendarily nice, amongst everybody, is playing my arch nemesis. It was really fun having him be mean to me. And yeah, this episode is just so crazy. Any fans of the show are just gonna go nuts at all the guest stars and everything. It's everything you'd want from the finale of the show. I think it might be our best finale. Leslie is pregnant with triplets, which I think is probably a good thing because the amount of love and care she would show to one child would overwhelm it, and now it's spread over 3, so that's probably going to make it okay for them. So I think it's probably for the best. I don't think we want to see Tom babysitting 3 children. I hope it never comes to that, to where she goes through so many people on the Rolodex, she gets to Tom to babysit her kids, but we'll see. This episode, I mean, it's a Parks fan's dream come true. There's Genuine. That's pretty ridiculous. I thought that was pretty ridiculous. That Genuine is actually in the show. All the guest stars, every character from Pert Hapley and Joan Calamezzo to Dr. Saperstein and Mona Lisa and John Ralphio. You get to see Tom's Bistro, which looks amazing. The Unity concert, which is insane. There's all these musical performances, Decemberist, Yola Tango, Letters to Cleo. It's just such a crazy episode, and it's filled with so much insanity. I don't even want to say anything else to give away any of the surprises, but it's really going to be a great episode. I can't wait to see it. So I'm on the show, and I'm eager to see it. So that should tell you something.
Yay! I love hearing Aziz speak as himself and not as Tom.
Yes. Yeah, it's refreshing for sure.
Yeah, and a great point about Leslie overwhelming one child to have all her love spread over 3 kids is, yeah, that's classic, and that's good.
I'd never thought about that, and it's so accurate.
Yeah, I know. I never thought about it either. And yeah, that is astute, knows his character well, that hopefully he doesn't have to babysit.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God.
So funny.
Okay. Last one is Retta, aka Donna.
We are here to celebrate the merger of Pawnee and Eagleton. I'm not even sure it's on this. Oh, yeah, it is. Pawnee and Eagleton are becoming one big city and a thriving metropolis even. And this is here to help celebrate the kickoff of that merger. The upcoming scene is going to be the big closer, where we have my cousin Genuine, the Decemberists, Yolo Tango, Jeff Tweedy, Duke Silver, and the reunion of Mouse Rats, all on stage singing 10,000 Candles. Right? That's what it's saying. Oh, is it 10,000? I think it should be 10,000 Candles. That's how much I love Lil Sebastian. I want to remake. Screw 5,000 Candles, 10,000 Candles. When I first read that Genuine was my cousin and that his photos and platinum records were in my lake house, I thought it was hilarious. And I knew that Tom was going to lose it. And then to actually watch Aziz lose it over Genuine, because Genuine, he's genuine. I mean, it's genuine. And we have a flashback to that in an earlier scene of the finale where he actually meets Genuine. I could tell that Genuine liked Aziz because when he first met him, he was like, oh, excuse me, Retta. Hey, you want to take a picture? In the last 22 episodes, Donna you've got to learn a little more about Donna. You've gotten to see some of her love interests, specifically Joe, the school teacher, who was a little boring for her. But I think Donna's finally gotten to a place where she feels it's okay to settle down as long as you don't say it out loud. So she made him promise not to try to tie her down too soon. And so they're going to kick it for a little bit. So Tom has a new business venture, Tom's Bistro, and Donna helps him to get it started up. Who knows, she might even try to work her way into some ownership. But I think Tom and Donna are better outside of business. They're better when they're just chilling and pampering themselves. So I think if there's going to be more Tom and Donna interaction, they'll probably take place in spas. The cast of this episode is huge. There's like more than 60 named characters in this episode. And then like 650 extras. It's a bit overwhelming, but it's fun, because all the Sapersteins are here. Jam is here, Purd, Joan Calamezzo, obviously my cousin Genuine, who's actually making his first appearance on this show as a moving person. There's so many people. I can't even remember who else is in this episode, because just about everyone who's ever crossed the camera in Pawnee is in this episode. I don't know how much more of the social media thing that they're going to bring up for Donna in the upcoming season, because we do get a 7th season. But it's fun, so I'm sure if they do add it, hijinks will ensue.
I don't know what she means by social media. Do you know what she's talking about?
Mm-mm.
I didn't see any deleted scenes or anything. I mean, I would just assume as a fan that she probably has some sort of social media TikTok presence.
Yeah.
So I could see that. But yes, I agree with her that I would love to see more of Donna and Tom at spas and just treating themselves. That would be so fun.
That's kind of what they do. So
yeah, they're really good at it. So
I like it.
Yes, love. Okay, so those were all the trailer promos. Thank you for listening to that. I will say I wanted to see Dennis Meinstein. I was waiting for him to come up. I don't know why they didn't bring him back.
That's a good question.
Because he's famous and he could come to Tom's Bistro. I know maybe it's because we burned that bridge. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it very well could be. But
or
Ben's not there.
Yeah, or maybe Jason Mantzoukas wasn't available. I don't know.
True.
But I feel like he's rich and has money, so I feel like he could have come. But it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's move forward. So we start this episode in San Francisco, like we heard from everybody. They are actually in San Francisco. This was not like a set or anything like that. They flew out there. We're with Andy, Ben, and Leslie, and we're looking at Alcatraz, which Andy thinks Michael Bay created for the movie The Rock.
Yeah. My gosh.
Which, by the way, I know most of you probably already know this because we have a smart audience, but just in case you did not know, Alcatraz has been around long before Michael Bay.
Long before. Like, it was created, it became a national, a prison, not a national, but it became a federal prison in 1934.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh. I did a whole little breakdown on Alcatraz, which is one of the reasons it took me so long to do this episode review. But it's really interesting. So yes, it's located in San Francisco Bay, evolved from a 19th century military fortress, which I did not know. That's what it started as in the 1850s. And then, like you said, the federal prison was in 1934 was when it converted. That ended in 1963, and then it turned into a famous tourist site, and it is known as The Rock. I did not know that was like a nickname for it. It held notorious criminals due to its maximum security and inescapable design, and it is now a National Historic Landmark, which Leslie is able to see that's like one of the things that the parks covers. I do have a couple of websites that I'll post in the show notes if you want to read about it. But several well-known criminals such as Al Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, Alvin Karpis, which is the first Public Enemy #1, and Arthur Doc Barker did time on Alcatraz. So most of the prisoners incarcerated there were not well-known gangsters, but prisoners who refused to conform to rules and regulations at other federal institutions, and they were considered violent and dangerous, and they were considered escape risks. So that makes sense. Also, I did not know, this is dumb of me, I guess, but Machine Gun Kelly, the artist, got his name from this criminal. I did not know that. Did you know that?
I didn't either until you said it out loud. And I was like,
isn't that crazy?
All right.
Wild.
Nuts. Yeah.
And it's also the name Alcatraz is derived from the Spanish word Alcatraces. I'm sorry, I'm saying that very white girl, but Alcatraces. In 1775, the Spanish explorer Juan Manuel de Ayala was the first to sail into what is now known as San Francisco Bay, and his expedition actually mapped the bay and named one of the 3 islands Alcatraces. And over time, the name was Anglican transformed to Alcatraz. While the exact meaning is still debated, Alcatraz is usually defined as meaning pelican or strange bird. So maybe there were some pelicans or strange birds on this little island.
Maybe.
And then in 1850, a presidential order set aside the island for possible use as a United States military reservation, which is what we talked about. And the California Gold Rush, which was the resulting boom in the growth of San Francisco and the need to protect San Francisco Bay, led to the U.S. Army to build a citadel or fortress at the top of the island in the early 1850s. And the Army also made plans to install more than 100 cannons on the island, making Alcatraz the most heavily fortified military site on the West Coast. So together with Fort Point and Lime Point, which are 2 points on the actual island, Alcatraz formed a triangle of defense designed to protect the entrance to the bay. And the island was also the site of the first operational lighthouse on the West Coast of the United States. I love a lighthouse knowledge moment.
Yeah, me too.
And then by the 1850s, the first military prisoners were being housed on the island. So it was military prisoners first before federal prison for these criminals. And while the defensive necessity of Alcatraz diminished over time, meaning that the island actually never fired its guns in battle, which is wild to me, its role as a prison would continue for more than 100 years. And then in 1909, the Army tore down the citadel, leaving its basement to serve as the military prison. And then in 1909 through 1911, the military prisoners built the new prison, which was designated as the Pacific Branch U.S. Disciplinary Barracks for the U.S. Army. And that's where it later became known as the Rock.
Okay.
So I feel like it's very interesting. And then the last thing, I know I'm going on and on. This is the last thing, I promise. The U.S. Army used the island for more than 80 years, from 1850 until 1933, when the island was transferred to the U.S. Department of Justice, or DOJ, as a lot of people know now, for use by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And the federal government had decided to open a maximum security, minimum privilege penitentiary to deal with the most incorrigible inmates in federal prisons, and to show the law-abiding public that the federal government was serious about stopping the rampant crime of the 1920s and 1930s. 1920s, as you know, and 1930s was like mob vibes, all that kind of criminal activity going on. So that is the history of Alcatraz, and I'm sure you could read more in the articles if you're interested, but that's a little breakdown for you.
Yeah. Crazy. I've never been. I really want to go and take a tour.
I've never taken a tour either. I've been to San Francisco and I've seen it from afar, but we didn't do the tour. That would be really interesting and scary.
Yeah.
There's probably ghosts and hauntings and all the things. I bet they do. I wonder if they do like a Halloween moment. I bet they do.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Halloween
like ghost
moment.
tours. Oh my God.
Yeah. So cool.
That would be crazy.
We went to a prison tour in Ireland, and it was just really interesting to hear like the history of like what somebody did to go to prison there, and like what was a day in the life like.
Yeah.
But yeah, my nerd moment here is that Alcatraz actually also influenced the creation of Azkaban in Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, totally. And it looks like it too. When you watch Harry Potter, it looks like it. It's in the middle of an island, or in the middle of the ocean or whatever. Nobody can escape. You know what I mean? Well, except for the Dementors can break out and help Bellatrix escape. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Semantics.
No big deal.
But yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Andy can't tell if Ben was trying to sleep because he had a mask over his eyes, which is, I thought that was hilarious. I couldn't tell what those for. So oblivious. And then Leslie has a talking head here, and she says that this might be the craziest week of her entire life. She's 6 days away from the Unity concert, pregnant with triplets. She's deciding whether or not she should take this job, and she's speaking at the National Parks Conference where Michelle Obama is giving the keynote. Oh my God. Like I said, this episode is just bringing out everybody. I mean, Michelle Obama has never been on the show, but I mean, to add her, that Leslie's like fangirldom, if you will, fangirling.
I think we should all fangirl over her.
Absolutely. Oh my God. It's insane. When you hear that, you're like, well, there's no way they're going to bring her on the show. Like, and then you get a glimpse of her and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. She's so good too. And she, I don't know if anyone else listens to Good Hang with Amy Poehler, but Michelle Obama was interviewed by Amy Poehler and they talked about this episode, and it was really funny. And they did a really good job of discussing Parks, history. So definitely listen to that when you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Andy says that they need to break into Alcatraz, but not through the tour, because that's exactly how they'll be expecting him to break in.
Yes, I have that note too. So good.
I know. So Tom is opening his restaurant in 6 weeks. This is the hardest he's ever worked on anything, he says, which I don't think is completely true, because he worked hard on Rent-A-Swag,
He
but
did.
I do get that this is probably harder, so I get it. But come on, Tom, you're not that sleazy guy anymore. Don't say that you don't work hard on stuff. You know, he's going back into his
Yeah.
old patterns.
Yeah, and he's questioning himself a little bit, but then he still jumps into the fire. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think about Rent-A-Swag was he already had the inventory. It was his clothes. It was
Yeah,
just finding the space and putting together a good business plan, and pricing and all that stuff. Like now he has to find a chef. What kind of food is he gonna order, like make? Where is he gonna get all the supplies? Should he get his produce from the same place as the meat place? Like
right.
there's a lot more that goes into this. I agree with you. He definitely worked hard on Rent-A-Swag, but he might be a little bit more overloaded with this endeavor.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so he is true that this is the hardest he's ever worked, I feel. But he when he says I've never worked hard at anything, I was like, okay, that's a bit too far.
Yeah, true. You have.
But yeah, you're right. No, this is a big thing, and restaurants are insane. There's so many logistics to go through. So I mean, he is really pushing himself, and you can see it too. They do a good job of
Hmm.
showing how hard he's working here. Our investor is back and says he wishes he could be open for a Unity concert to get all the buzz and, get people in. I do love this investor guy. I think this character / this actor did a really good job with kind of like intimidating, but you also really want to impress him, but you're also kind of scared of him. But he's also kind of nice,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely a myriad of emotions in the interactions with him.
Yeah. And while this conversation is happening, Tom is like, well, why don't we open in, however many weeks for the Unity concert? Like, who cares? And April and Craig, the camera pans to them and you see their look that they're flabbergasted. Like, there's no way. 6 weeks to 6 days? No. That's a huge
Yeah.
time chunk of things that need to happen. Like, that's insane.
Oh yeah. That gave me so much stress
Mm-hmm.
when he was like, "No, yeah, we'll do a soft open," and especially because like I get what he's trying to do, right? Like this is a great opportunity to be open for the Unity concert. But the investor wasn't really pushing him to do it. He just said like it would be great if we could. And
Mm-hmm.
so it makes me sad how this kind of ends where it's like, okay, but you didn't push him to do it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like such a mixed bag because Tom is so excited about it. So I love seeing his enthusiasm and his
mhm.
excitement. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, we can do it. But he's not thinking straight or not thinking about the logistics. Like April says, the sign doesn't even say Tom's Bistro, it says Tom's Buy. They're not even done painting. Never mind. That's fine. We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready. Yeah. I love
But I
her.
mean, the chairs aren't finished. The menus haven't been printed yet. Like, and also you have to be, aware of the wiggle room that you need in case anything does fuck up, like the menus when Jerry tears that to shreds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah.
I do love Craig's line of "Call me Kristen because I'm wigging out right now."
Yeah. So good. Such a good call to Kristen Wiig. I love it.
I know.
Yeah. I think if Tom had like reined it in a little bit and said, okay, it's a soft open. We can still make improvements afterwards. Like, and just done like a really nice paper printed menu. It didn't have to be a
Yes,
book, right? Like, I think he could have found ways, but he was just so excited and he was
I
so
know.
proud. So,
Yeah, totally. I know. And he doesn't seem to have anyone else that's like giving him options or like having like another person to bounce ideas off of. Right now I feel like all of his friends are just being like workers, which is great and helpful. But no, he doesn't have someone that's like, okay, well, what if we do this and this instead of like the crazy things that you're talking about? You know what I mean? To like
yeah,
meet in the middle. So yeah, I could see how he keeps going on and on.
yeah. He doesn't have a business partner.
Yeah, exactly. And he's channeling his Leslie, which I do love that. This is absolutely what Leslie would do, I feel. So he's definitely learning from her. But yeah.
Absolutely, he is.
Yeah, the idea that putting McDonald's out of business is not super realistic. It's not a great goal, but stay positive. That's fine.
Yeah. Especially since it's not the same food, Tom.
Right. And it's a whole other thing. Like, fast food is not the same as yours.
Yeah. No.
So now we're at the conference, and there's a name tag that says Lester Knopf that Leslie thinks is hers. Come on, guys, get it together. But then turns out there really is a Lester Knopf that shows up. Oh my God, that is so funny. I love that.
I love that. I love that too.
What a nice surprise. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sad news though. I did look up this Lester Knopf fellow. He passed away in 2022.
Oh.
No.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He is played by the actor Patrick Gilbert. He was an actor and production assistant known for You, Me, and Dupree, which I never saw, but that was a popular movie. Hawaii Five-0 and Spanners. He died on September 4th, 2022 in the USA. So thank you so much for doing that because we love Lester Knopf.
Yes. Go Lester.
And shout out to production assistants everywhere because they get shit done and get very little credit.
Yes.
Then we see Grant is there. Leslie has been ducking his calls, sadly, avoiding him because she doesn't know what she wants to do. And Grant is like, okay, well, join me for lunch. Like, we could talk about it. And Leslie's like, no. But then Liam Bonneville is going to be there, the Department of the Interior's resident bad boy, which we mentioned a couple times when Grant first showed up. So that really gets Leslie's gears going.
Nice callback, too.
Great callback.
Yep.
And I love that we're actually going to meet him and see him in the flesh. She needs to get her autograph book so that she can be prepared to meet him. Side note, Grant is played by Brady Smith. I think that I did a whole I did a whole breakdown on him when he first came in, but I've been exchanging emails with him, and I'm pretty positive we're going to get to interview him. So
nice.
I'll keep you guys posted on, because I want to do a full interview with him because he's been in so many episodes, and he was such a huge part of Leslie, moving up, as this episode states. So I really want to talk to him about all of the processes and stuff like that. And I don't think they went to San Francisco. I think this portion was filmed in LA. But still, who knows? So, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on when we do that. Okay. And yeah, which is perfect because by that time we'll have reviewed most of his episodes anyway. So that way we can dive deeper. Then we get our first Grizzle mention. So crazy that this doesn't happen till the end of season 6. Like it's not the first mention. Yeah, they mentioned him in the prom. But now we're actually, we don't actually know what Grizzle is. Yeah, and she says in the prom, the Grizzle dump or whatever the fuck, which is the streaming music service. So it was such a throwaway line, and now we're actually learning what Grizzle actually does. So it's crazy though that we don't see them until the end of season 6. So they really only have season 7 to. But there's such a part of Parks lore. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
it's nuts. When you think of even certain characters that were only in it for 2 episodes or even maybe one scene, but they're so recognizable and you're like, oh my God, how are you not in more?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, agree. I'd love to hear, did the Grizzle comment, was that just an offhand, they didn't think they were going to do anything about it and then they recalled it in the writer's room? Or did they know that Grizzle was going to be a thing?
Yeah. I want to know too. That's a great question. I honestly, I kind of had that note too, where I was like, they always have note cards of things that they've mentioned before when they're trying to pull ideas out. I don't know, man. I feel like it was so long ago that they didn't know that they were going to have this visual of it, but maybe they did. Yeah, that's a great question. I do have a list of questions for Mike Schur if I ever do get to talk to him, so I'll have to add that in.
Yes, for sure.
Let me just make a note so I remember. I'm serious because or maybe Amy Poehler knows. Whichever one I talk to first. I don't know.
It's the dream. Make it happen. We're going to make it happen.
Grizzle question, Mike Schur. Okay, great. Or Amy, or whoever. Okay. Yeah.
Just emotionally, I'm picturing us on a video call with Amy Poehler, and I would cry so hard.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't be able to stop the tears.
I know. I would be really insanely shocked. I think I would be more crazy if I was in person with her, because the energy of
true.
her would just overwhelm me and flood me with emotion.
You'd
I'm
want to
not
hug
saying
her.
I know, or I'd like want to like touch her or like reach out my hand and like just, are you there? But I mean, not that I wouldn't be insane over a video too. Like, let's be real. Come on. But I do feel like, and I don't know. I mean, I still would be emotional, but I do feel like this podcast, interviewing Purd and interviewing like all these people and directors and crazy like Shauna, has prepared me to not go insane, but also I would go a little insane.
Yeah. Yeah. We would be emotional.
Yeah. Well, and it's because also Amy Poehler, like, you know her status, and Mike, sure, you know her status in relation to the show. You know what I mean? Like, everyone had such a huge part in it. I think not knowing that certain people were so famous, like for example Brian Stack, when I interviewed him, I knew he was famous, and well famous in small circles because he's a writer on Conan and Colbert and all these things, and has like insane sketch
Yeah.
you know, things that I am just such a huge fan of. But I think I don't know. I think it's like I was in denial or something, and I shocked myself into believing like it's not that big a deal, whatever. And then now that I think about it, like really think about it after it's over, I'm like, I just interviewed Brian Stack. I can't believe that I got to do that. That is literally insane. And he is the nicest, most like sweetest, smartest dude in the whole world. And so I feel like with Amy though, I would already kind of have that insanity going into it. Oh my God. Anyways, well, we're manifesting, so that's all
The
I
dream.
have to say.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so they're meeting with Grizzle, Andy, and Ben are, which is a tech company in San Francisco. They're giving away free Wi-Fi to a few cities across America, and they are pitching Pawnee, which I think is a great idea. It would be a great gift for this new town. Oh my gosh, then Eagleton could pay off some of their debts and not have to pay for internet.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, which is expensive.
Totally. Oh my God. I related to this so hard as a person from a small town that does not have access to Wi-Fi. And you might be thinking, how do you not have access to Wi-Fi? That's insane. Maddie, you already know this because I've like explained and ranted ad nauseum about it. But people still in this country do not have fucking Wi-Fi, okay? And there are satellite internets, which is great. But Starlink, I don't want to support Elon Musk. And but like you have to do that in a way. I have T-Mobile now, which is also a satellite thing. And I think they use Starlink satellites. I don't think it's like owned by them, but like I think they use some of their satellites. So like, but you have to do it. Like, just like in Ben's speech or whatever, when he says internet is no longer optional, it's like, that is a fact. It is not just for TikToks. Like, you can't work, you can't send emails, you can't pay taxes, you can't like do anything that you have to do as a human. And I just can't believe that some of the things, like what we had is Verizon, but it's like the dial-up version. Well, not dial-up. It's like a thing above dial-up. Like it still uses a phone line, which is why it's so slow, and which is why it wouldn't work for me working from home. Like what I'm using right now is the T-Mobile thing, but it's capped at a certain limit. So I have to be very careful about how much I use it. And sometimes I'll use my phone's personal hotspot as well, because that even works better than the Verizon thing. And I called Comcast, and they said that they would dig a line for $12,000. Just me. Just my house. Not the whole
$12,000, Holly?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, you know what? I bet I could get my neighbors and stuff, they need Wi-Fi. I don't know what the fuck they're using. So I'm sure that I could do that. But then I was like, but I think $12,000 was just for one line. It's not for the whole subdivision. And then they said that the houses aren't close enough together. You know how in subdivisions the houses are so close. Yeah. And I was like, but that made sense back when I was growing up, because there was probably like 6 houses back here. Now there's more. They've added more. And it's a private road, which also could be something. But we are on a main artery that connects to so many highways. So it's not as if we're like desolate. Like out in
Right.
Montana where nobody is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just a homestead. Yes, we're in the boonies. Yes, we're in the sticks. Like, the forest is right outside. But, like, there should be internet. And so Starlink is really the only option for a lot of people. And so there's really like no moral way to have Wi-Fi, I feel. And what's so crazy is that like I can go 15 minutes up the road in opposite directions and to like the closest towns and they have Wi-Fi. What the fuck is that about? So sometimes I'll go to the library if my internet's fucked up or if I ran out or whatever. And it's just like I think about kids in school. They only use internet now. How are they doing homework? How are they researching whatever they need to do? And quality of life, even like everything's TV is on streaming. Like, it's so wild. And so there's this new thing called Firefly, which I did some research on, which is where the electric company, it kind of reminds me of Grizzle, honestly. Not completely, but like it's just like a workaround in a way where the electric companies are like working with this new internet company to use the power lines for high-speed internet, which is great. But my county doesn't have that accessibility yet. And I think it has something with the electric companies like having a monopoly on certain regions of our county and stuff. And there's some people getting it, which is like really great that that's even an option for some of these people that are up in the mountains and stuff like that. But it's just such a clusterfuck because I'm like, I know there's logistics that go into it. I understand there's like 9,000 things, but I just feel like our county in particular, A, doesn't want change. B, it would probably cost money, taxes. Like these Pawnee bitches would come to the city council and complain about like, well, you're raising my taxes or you're raising whatever the fuck fees for this. And I'm just like, in order to move forward, you do have to sometimes spend money. And you also have to think about it, which is, again, I'm almost done with my rant. But again, this is like people resisting against like this socialist idea that we're all in this together. We could all pay and split the price for everyone to succeed. But here with this capitalistic, like small town shit, it's like every man for himself. You get your own shit. You stay off my land, all this kind of thing. And it trickles down to every facet of life. And it's so weird. So I think about this Parks episode all the time, especially that trial thing that Ben says. Like, I think about it all the time because they said that in fucking 2014. Or I guess 2015 was the trial, but 2014 was this episode. And we're in 2026, and yet some people still don't have that. Are you being so for real? And then I think about how people can't move forward or learn or educate themselves because they have to go somewhere else. It's just like, or work from home is not really an option or whatever. The quality of, it's just so wild to me. So sometimes you do have to use the not moral thing and get Starlink or whatever because there's just no other option. It's a monopoly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's a good representation of, we have some parts of our country that are operating at like highest level, with the highest level tech, with the highest internet, like fastest internet, whatever. And then we still have parts of the country that, like you said, don't have it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, and like you think about what you do, again, not just like streaming and stuff, but you think about like paying bills or like I said, paying your taxes, how we communicate with people via email, all that kind of stuff. And yes, you can use data. You can use your cell phone data for a lot of that stuff. But how much easier would it be if you could have access to internet? You know? And sometimes in these areas, you don't have good service, regardless of what your internet service is, because we're out here in the sticks. You know what I mean? So sometimes that doesn't even work. And I still know old people, but I don't think this is like a small town thing. I just think it's like a generational thing. I do know like some old aunts and stuff that still pay their checks still pay their bills via check in the mail, which I find hilarious because that's what they want to do. And that's totally fine. But yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know why no one else, is it just T-Mobile and Starlink that have satellite internet? Like, why is Elon Musk at the top of this fucking
food chain?
Yeah. Why isn't anyone else doing that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah.
It's so weird. But anyways, so I already said it. I wrote like a whole script for myself to say all of these things. So I'm trying to figure out where I left off because I didn't really need a script.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You did great.
Oh my God, so funny. I almost forgot that I even wrote because I reviewed this a long time ago. You guys are getting a little bit of how the sausage is made. And so I almost forgot that I wrote the $12,000 thing. I thought I was just ranting in that second. But no, I wanted you all to know that, apparently.
It is insane.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, it is insane because I feel like the mental health that I had to experience when I got back here, like I only cried twice when I moved, and they were both because of internet, because I work from home. And it was just like I was so behind at work because I just couldn't get it to work. So then, yeah. So for I think for like probably 2 months, every week, a couple days a week, I would go to Starbucks because it was just like, this is not good. And then sitting 9 hours at a fucking Starbucks, that's no good. Like, every now and again, it's fine, but if you need to. But yeah, it's wild. And then that means that people can't have companies out here. Like, what if you do work from an office and you want to open a business here and create more for the economy? And you can't, like, all POS systems are run off of the internet.
Yeah.
Wild. So thank you all for listening to me. And I have gone to a couple of town hall meetings, and I have talked to that Firefly thing that's doing the electric lines, but it just feels like a dead end because they they don't care, and they don't have the resources to like fight this. You know what I mean? And I'm just a person. I don't know what I can do except for shell out $900 million.
Yeah. Which isn't realistic.
Yeah. Also, like, I say this a little bit later on, but I am so fed up with like the rich people getting the perks. Why do they want Akron or like tiny, like bigger towns than Pawnee to get the free shit? Okay, like it's so annoying to me. Like they already have the resources, I'm sure. Okay, give it to someone who actually needs it.
Yeah, agreed.
So. Anyways, so that's that. And I do love this commentary on tech companies, like it's the cloud for your cloud. Like no one knows,
which makes no sense.
Oh my
God. I love
God.
that Ben brought Andy.
Me too.
Like he's his new little like right hand man when he does any of these kinds of things, and makes me happy that he's giving Andy, like, he's learning from Ben. You know, he's giving him opportunity. It's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it takes you back to London and like them working together on this for sure.
Yeah.
So they're meeting with the workers from Grizzle now. And I think this was right around the time too when like the WeWork and like the flowing work structures in Silicon Valley and stuff was kind of like, you know, up and coming, where a lot of people have like those third workspaces nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And so Silicon Valley started in 2014, I believe, which is when this Parks episode came out. And then I don't know if you remember, I have a funny kind of crossover where Modern Family. Did you watch Modern Family a lot? Like, would you be familiar?
I might be familiar. I haven't watched the entire series and like consecutively, but I've seen episodes from every season.
Okay. So there's this part where Modern Family in Modern Family where Pritchett's Closets sells to another tech company because they want to like expand and grow and stuff. And actually Ben Schwartz is the leader of that. It's called Ezra Vision. And this is the whole thing too, where the older generation, Jay Pritchett, who owns Pritchett's Closet, is like, you know, I don't want you guys like playing ping pong in the background, and I don't want you guys like having this free flowing thing and games and like food and all this stuff. And it's kind of similar vibes. So I feel like it's really interesting to around this like 5 to 8 year span to see all of the comedy shows kind of do like pinpointing this work structure, because that's kind of what was happening at the time. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like how culture mimics TV and TV mimics culture, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Fascinating.
Okay. So this scene, I was talking to you a little bit about this, how they cut a lot of the scenes in Peacock, or on the original version. And now Peacock has a lot of the scenes that were cut are now available to the public, essentially. So if you're watching this on Peacock, some of this shit was not originally aired. And the scene here with Andy is absolutely deleted, where the person getting their haircut and Andy is like, so just anyone can get their haircut? Can I cut someone's hair? And he runs off. That was not in the original air, and it is so funny.
Yes, I know. So Holly messaged me when she first started reviewing it, and she's like, I cannot wait for you to see which scenes like aren't in the original. And so I made a point that every time I saw one, I like have it in all caps, like, it's added.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what I have here is like, I don't remember any of that. And the end part where the person spins around and the haircut's insane. I was like, I would have for sure remembered that happening.
Totally. Yeah. And sometimes I get mixed up because I'm like, I've seen this episode so many times, but for some reason I forgot it. So I always check, and it's definitely not on the DVDs. So, or it's in the deleted scenes of the DVDs or whatever. So it absolutely was added in, which is so fun because I think The Office was doing that too with the Superfan episodes or whatever. But I don't think Parks made a huge deal of it like The Office did. Like they have a whole branded like super fan episodes, but Peacock is just adding in random ass things, which I think is funny and cute. So
agreed. I don't know if Parks has done it with everything either, because you've brought deleted scenes here before, and I'm like, oh, those aren't in the series. Whereas now, if I listen to Office Ladies, like from their original run through, they're bringing up scenes and deleted scenes, and I'm like, oh, I've seen that now because it's in the Superfan episode.
Right, totally. And I feel like it's towards the end of the season, too. It started in season 6 because there was a whole moment where they're doing talent show auditions for the Unity concert, and that was not original aired. That, like all of Martin Houseman, whatever, the Wood-Eye guy comes back, Perk comes back, all these like contortionists and stuff like that. That was not originally aired. That's a Peacock added that. So I wonder if it's season 6 that they started adding it in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love seeing extra scenes.
I'm about it. Yeah.
So this lady from Grizzle is Lylan Bowden. Shoot, I don't know how to say her name. Lylan Bowden. And her character name is Sam Nutt. First name Sam, last name Nutt. She's awesome. She's been in the comedy world for a really long time now. She worked on the mystery comedy series Murderville / like Who Killed Santa. That's the one with Will Arnett and Jason Bateman. She is also in Shrinking on Apple TV with Jason Segel. She is the quote dead mom. They call her that. And they do flashbacks with her, which you've got to start watching Shrinking. You would love that show so much.
That's what my dad was just saying too. So, and it came up on one of our searches of like what to watch. So
it's so good. The new season is really good too. Oh my god, I love that whole cast and the writers and all the things. But yeah, she comes back a couple times for flashbacks and things, and she's great. She was also in a 2017 TV series called Andy Mack, which looks really cool. Very, very popular, according to the internet. A lot of people know her from that. She was also in NCIS, Conan, lots of UCB stuff, Upright Citizens Brigade, which was an improv team that Amy Poehler is associated with / created. So she has a lot of sketch experience and improv background, so she fits right in, which is amazing. And then the guy who's in the scene is Blake Anderson, and his character name was Mike Bean. So they have the last names of these Grizzle people. Yeah, Nut and Bean. And you guys probably all know Blake Anderson from Workaholics, which is a great Comedy Central show. So funny. He created the show with his co-stars Adam Devine and Anders Holm. And Adam Devine, another Modern Family reference, he was on there. He played Haley's boyfriend, which I loved him on Modern Family. Oh my God. I just love him in general as an actor. I think he's fantastic.
I agree. He's hilarious. And I also think he and Haley should have been Endgame, so I was upset about that.
I know. I go back and forth. I have a hard time deciding. They were so good together. Ugh, dang.
Yeah.
But I love Dylan too. He's such a weirdo. He's such an Andy. He's such a golden retriever.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah. So he he's also in Righteous Gemstones. Again, this is Adam Devine and not Blake Anderson, who is actually in Parks, the show that we're talking about, but I do love Adam Devine. Anyhow, yes, so Blake Anderson is a writer and producer. He's also a very big background in improv and sketch, working a lot in voiceover as well, which I did not know, and does a lot of cool indie films. He was in a movie called First Time Female Director that Chelsea Peretti actually wrote and directed, which I really need to watch. Amy Poehler, a bunch of comedy legends are in it, and Chelsea Peretti, of course, as you know, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but also she wrote The Smallest Park on Parks, and which is one of my favorite Parks episodes. So it's all connected in this comedy world, which I love to see. And he and his Workaholics co-stars are actually on tour right now. I think they were playing in Vegas recently. And there's something going on with a cruise that they did. I don't know if it was like I don't know what that was about, but it's on social media, so you can do your own research on that part. But they are on tour if you are interested in seeing them. And they have their own podcast, which I cannot remember what it's called. Oh, what's it called? It's called This Is Important. which is hilarious. But yeah, everyone has a podcast, so I'm surprised that I didn't already know that. Okay, so they mentioned Grizzle Dump, which is one of the lines that they had in the prom episode when Tom is playing the old music for the kids, which we talked about. And Tom's like, oh my God, what's Grizzle Dump? What's Grizzle Dump? And this is when Ben says that Pawnee is a great candidate for free Wi-Fi because they lead the country in online pizza ordering. They go to the library just to order pizza, which reminded me of me going to the library to do work. I was like, can you imagine if I went to the library just to order pizza?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so good.
Oh my God, it's such a good line. Instead of just going to get the pizza yourself, that's probably the same amount of distance. Oh my God, hilarious. This is where I had my note of why would bigger cities need Wi-Fi? Like, shut up. It's so dumb. I get it from a marketing standpoint, but like, get out of here.
I also, no shade to Ohio. I lived in Ohio for a minute, but I said, why are we using Ohio as the standard?
And it's so funny, like to your point, I guess, like it's funny because all these cities are not like huge. It's not New York, LA. That's what's the joke is so we're thinking Akron. Oh my God, hilarious.
What does he say? We're more a Dayton than an Akron.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Those like you're not saying Columbus or Cincinnati? What are we doing?
So funny. You're so right. Oh my God. That's such a good line and such a good observation.
It is. It's so well done.
Yeah, okay. So Blake Anderson's character, I'm really over him. We don't like to say the word no because it's counterproductive to the creative mission, so we're just gonna say nah, bro. Like whatever. Get out of here. You're on my nerves.
I
Which
hate
was
people
the whole
who do
point.
that.
I get it. And he was like barefoot. Did you notice this? He did not have shoes on.
Oh, I did not notice. Good catch.
Yeah, go back and watch it because I was really annoyed with him. I was like, stop it. This frat bro energy is not it. Like, get out of here.
Side note, because of how weird it is, there's a lady at our gym. She's an older lady. That I don't think that excuses what's happening. But she does like the squat machine where you like sit and you put your legs up here.
Oh.
Barefoot.
No.
Like she works out in like flip-flops and then she takes her flip-flops off to put her feet up barefoot and do the squat machine, Holly.
People don't understand gym etiquette, okay? People really feel like they're in a different universe at the gym. I feel like the things that I see online are like they are not in society or like have not been an active human citizen of the planet Earth.
They're like standards don't count here, so it's fine.
Ew. And I bet she doesn't even spray it down. It'd be one thing if you like wiped it down afterwards, but then people just walk away.
Yeah.
No.
Gross, right?
Not unacceptable, ma'am.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on. Okay. So this is where I had the note that why did you even have him come in then if you were just going to say no?
For real. What a waste of a trip.
Right. Like, why are we even having this meeting just so you could say no in person? That's weird. I guess, like, he was trying to make his pitch and then they were going to say no. But it sounded like they had their mind kind of made up. Like, how was this better?
They did. Because I don't think he even really got to give his pitch. They didn't even make it to, like, a conference room or to sit down and talk about it.
100%. And, yeah, I agree with Ben of the whole line he has where, how is nah, bro, better than no?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I'm glad he said it.
Me too. And then this is where we cut to Andy fucking up this person's hair.
So good.
So good. Okay, so now we are moving on to the third floor back at City Hall. Did you have anything else before that, though?
No.
Okay. The third floor is so beautiful. Like, this was only 6 episodes apart from each other, but Ron found this floor on the Wall episode, and which I know TV time is differently, but typically the audience is led to kind of believe that it's week to week or like couple weeks or whatever per episode, but 6 weeks to do the whole floor, like, that's almost just 2 months to do all of this. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Yeah. So, I mean, I know Ron can do it because he loves this and he's really like efficient or whatever. But also this is where I noticed that the number 6 is really prominent in this episode. We have, first of all, season 6. Okay. Then we had 6 weeks till Tom's Bistro, 6 days till the Unity concert, and now 6 episodes between the Wall and this episode where the third floor is complete. And I was like,
nice catch on that too.
I don't know if they did that on purpose. I'm sure they did not, but It seems spiritual to me.
Yes.
But the 6 means the devil, so I don't want to think that.
That's true. If there were only 3 of them.
Yeah, we need to find a 4th one. Because I did just list oh, wait. Season 6, 6 weeks. Oh, right.
6
I think
days.
there is 4. So 6 weeks till Tom's Bistro, 6 days till the Unity concert, now 6 episodes between that, and it's season 6. So, okay, there's 4.
Okay. We're safe.
We're safe. This is where Tom is asking Ron to make the chairs instead of July. Like, that's insane. Ron makes a joke saying, my chairs take time. Who do you think I am? Thomas Hucker. And this is another...
He laughs.
Oh my God. Yeah, he laughs and it's so cute. It's a very Ron moment. And yeah, that's a big ask for Tom to ask him to do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So this is another deep dive moment that I took way too long on, but I think it's worth mentioning that Thomas Hucker is actually a real person. He is a woodworker and furniture designer based in New Jersey. I will post his website. It looks very amazing to me. This is also where I found a website like talking about the furniture maker, and it's kind of like a group of like conferences and things you could go to. But before I do that, I'll do a little breakdown on Thomas Hucker. So he's a fifth generation German craftsman working in the traditional European manner. He studied with J.R. Osgood at the Boston University program in artisanry, which we love Boston. Mm-hmm. He later received his master's at the Domus Academy in Milan, Italy. And then since 1990, he's been supporting himself in this shop located in Hoboken, New Jersey. So if anyone's in New Jersey, go and visit his shop. He recently was teaching furniture design part-time at the New York School of Interior Design. And he's actually going to be part of a conference on June 10th with the Furniture Society, that's the organization I was talking about. It's a furniture organization that has all these like meetups, and it's across the country. Like, I'll tag them, honestly. I think I already did in my first post that when I was talking about reviewing this episode, but it's really interesting. It's the thing that he's teaching is a portfolio review, and it says it's not just for students. It's a 30-minute one-on-one session providing makers or furniture makers a chance to receive critiques on their work from leaders in the field, and each day offers a different lineup of reviewers. The website says this is a great opportunity for makers at any stage in their careers to engage in an in-depth conversation about their work and process with a reviewer of their choice. I think that is so cool.
That is really cool.
For furniture makers, who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
And that there's this whole society. I mean, this is like real. Ron's whole obsession, and he talks about the Woodworker magazine and all this stuff. Like, this is real. This is not just like the show made it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's niche. It's not like popular, but it's real.
But it exists.
I really respect it. Yeah.
Very cool.
The last thing I'll say is that Thomas Hucker's topics/strengths are listed on this website, and it says number 1, how to like what he's going to review you on. Number 1, how to survive and not lose your sight of your artistic goals. That's really good. Number 2, balancing craft with design, which I know Ron would appreciate. Number 3, embrace living outside of your comfort zone. I think those are great tenets to have.
Agreed. That's great.
But yeah, I'll tag the Furniture Society. I think it's a really interesting thing, and you can find all these different events within your area. It's not just like in New Jersey or New York or whatever. Like, it's all over the place. So you can find where they're doing events near you.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank you for all listening to that. Okay, so Ron says yes to this chair moment, crazy amount of time to get all the work done because he wants to do another project. And then now we're back at the conference. Do you have anything before we get there?
No.
Okay. So Grant is introducing us to everyone. We're now at the table of legends in the parks department. Rebecca Veruvian is played by the actress, producer, and casting extraordinaire Maura Soden. She has been in quite a few things: Criminal Minds, Mad Men, the original Matlock, not the reboot, New Girl, 1600 Penn, like a ton more. And I wanted to read her bio too because it's super cute. It says she gained experience as an assistant to director Paul Bogart on on NBC's Golden Girls, and later found herself as a post-production supervisor on Fox's Totally Hidden Video. She became a staff producer, doing infomercials, and then later moved to Wild West Media as a commercial producer. As a casting director, she's cast over 200 commercials, infomercials, and industrials. And she was also production manager. So, like, she's been all over the place. And she has created a really great career for herself. It looks like the last acting credit she had was 2018, so I'm not quite sure what her journey looks like in front of the screen right now. But Rebecca Veruvian is amazing. So I did talk to her via email, and she does want to send in things, but I think that we just didn't sync up our timing. So hopefully for the next episode, we'll get her. Also, voice memos can be tricky for some people, so I'm trying to just get her to help us, or I'm trying to help her to help us.
That's awesome.
But that was nice that she emailed back. She does. She is interested, so I just have to follow up. So that'll be good.
Awesome.
Okay. She says that Leslie says she made a poster of Rebecca Veruvian's face dunking over Charles Barkley. Oh my God, that is a hilarious detailed bit.
It's so funny. I
also love Rebecca's line of "My God." Like Maura Soden did such a good job of like, oh my God, are you a serial killer?
Yeah.
There is a funny goof here if you feel like you want to go back and watch it. Rebecca's name tag changes from being outside her jacket to inside her jacket multiple times. So they cut some stuff, and then the continuity was lost. But I didn't really notice it until I saw the background research, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so exciting news. Liam Bonneville is here.
And he read her proposal.
He read her proposal! Oh my God, he saw
makes me so
that it
happy.
happened. I know. That was a great callback, great closure for Leslie. They show that flashback of her going to the Department of Interior in D.C. Oh my God. And to know that it was read by her hero is amazing. And also the fact that she gets to say, like, that's already underway, ho. Like, you missed your chance.
I wasn't waiting for you.
Yeah, 100%. I love it so much.
Yeah.
So he's played by the actor Joe Souza. And, oh my God, he sent in voice memos. Oh my God, so exciting.
Nice.
Before I get to the voice memos, I want to talk about what he's done. Most recently, he was in a podcast called We're Alive, Descendants. He was also in The Rookie Feds, which is the full version. He was in the 2020 version of Saved by the Bell, 911, American Crime Story, Fresh Off the Boat. So fun. So many things that I did not mention. He's a great journeyman actor here. Also so funny, I saw that he had a musical review of a show, which I think they recorded, so it's technically like credited as a movie on TV or whatever, but it was live. And they called it, or it's called Naked Boys Singing, and he sings in that, and it's so fun. It's a musical review of gay experiences as told through song, stage choreography, and full male nudity.
Oh my gosh.
Joe Souza, amazing. I'm going to have to find that somewhere.
Frontal.
I don't know if I can. Oh my God. Amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead. I have not listened to these yet, so I'm so excited to be surprised. Let's listen to the first voice memo where I asked him how he got the job and all that.
Hey, Holly and Maddie. Joe Souza here. Or as you may know me, as the resident bad boy of the Department of the Interior, Liam Bonneville. Well, that's a title for you, isn't it? I would like to say that I got the role because one afternoon I was sitting in the corner of a trendy coffee shop in West Hollywood and I was discovered, but that's not how it happened at all. It was pretty unremarkable and common, really. It was just an audition. You know, I remember going up, meeting with the casting director, who was very nice. You know, it's funny because having done so many auditions, you don't remember, well, I don't remember many of them. And this was like 12 years ago, right? But I do remember her being very nice. And I also remember being somewhat comfortable. Like, not comfortable because I wasn't nervous, but I think comfortable only because I really felt great about this character. I don't know what that says about me, but sometimes characters just click, right? and this was one of them. And I can remember there was a chair, and I sat in the chair, and I sat back, very much like we shot it on the day. And, I don't know, maybe did 2 takes. I really don't remember casting giving me any redirection. And then that was it. I mean, it was one audition, and then I got booked. By the way, I was so thrilled when my agent sent me the message and that you wanted me to chat, because this was really a fun moment for me, this role. It was short-lived, and I really wish it was longer, but it was so much fun. And I was so happy to get it. It was an in-person audition. We don't really do those anymore, but back in the day, 12 years ago, God, and that seems like a million years ago. And that's how it all went down.
Yay! That's awesome.
Very cool.
And I did ask him a question, like specifically saying, like, how did it feel to be named that character, like Liam Bonneville, resident bad boy of the Department of Interior? So that, I think that's like the third one or whatever. I just want you guys to know that he wasn't just like putting on airs, which he seemed good at, and it was great anyways, which I loved. But I specifically asked him to answer that question. Because I was like, oh my God, we're talking to our idol here, Leslie's idol here.
Yes, for real.
Okay, here's the second one.
My day on set was thrilling. Days on set are always thrilling. But I'll give you a little secret. So I had a horrible, horrible flu. So I was all hopped up on cold medication, and on top of that, I strained my back muscles, right? The old adage is true. The show must go on. Like, there was no calling and saying, I can't do it. So I pulled myself together, and I thought, well, I'm not running or walking because, honestly, my back was so bad that I could barely stand. I thought, all I have to do is get there, sit in the chair, shoot the scene, get up, say thank you, and leave, and nobody's ever going to know the difference. And that's kind of what happened. Nobody knew that I was feeling so badly. I was a little worried before I saw it because I wondered if it would look like I was sick, but I think it all turned out okay. It was an absolute thrill working with Amy Poehler. And I'll tell you something. Obviously she's a producer on the show. And she's a little tiny woman, right? I mean, and I just thought there is so much on her shoulders. She's the star of the show. She's producing. We were shooting in outside on location at a hotel in Pasadena, and it was a big set with extras and all kind of stuff going on. And I remember we started to rehearse, and God, I hope I'm not telling tales, but she couldn't remember her lines. And I mean, she got so much to do, right? So nobody could fault her for that. But she just took a minute, looked it over, came back, and obviously she was brilliant. Everybody was great. The crew was great. The thing is, you never know what you're walking into. And since this was at the end of the run of the show, they've got everything down. Everybody knows everybody. They're friends and all of that. But they couldn't have been nicer. That's not always the case, but they were really, really great.
Yay, I love that. Oh my gosh. Wow. I did not notice that he had the flu or seemed sick or anything like that. And it is lucky that his scene, he's just sitting there. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And just kind of like being mysterious anyway. So that sucks though, to not be able to really stand. I can't imagine how like painful that was, and how painful maybe mentally too, of like, shit, I gotta get myself together.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you're like, I'm not at my best. That
Mm-hmm.
sucks.
Yeah. Well, it looked great and it
It did.
worked. It definitely worked. And like the outfit that they gave him too, like definitely fit with the bad boy. It was like a leather jacket or something with his like dark hair. It worked very well.
Nice.
Yeah, it
And
did.
yeah, I love that location breakdown of the Pasadena hotel. Yeah, so that does confirm that the rest of the people were not in San Francisco. That was just an Andy, Ben, and Leslie thing. So that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps with the logistics.
Totally. So it seems like maybe all they filmed there was the parts like truly at the Golden Gate Bridge, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and in the redwoods.
Yes.
So good. Yeah, I love that note about Amy. Like she's such a professional, and I think she would be the first to say like, yeah, I need a minute to get myself together, whatever.
Hmm.
Because yeah, she does have like 9,000 things going, especially for this episode. Oh my gosh, like wow, she's in so much of
Yeah.
it and is responsible for so much of it. So yeah, that makes total sense.
Well, and like
Awesome.
he said, like she's producing too, so
Right. Okay, let's listen to the next one.
I think I knew that my character was called the resident bad boy of the Department of the Interior from the sides that I got for the audition. What I didn't know was that he had been referred to throughout the show, and this was like the final, like kind of, getting to finally meet him. And I remember I saw, God, I wish I had it in front of me, but I saw a review from AV Club, and they said something like, and I'm going to paraphrase, probably get it wrong, but they said something like, we finally meet resident bad boy Liam Bonneville, and he does not disappoint. And I thought, well, that's kind of a good review, I'll take it, whatever. But that was a whole lot of fun. I got to tell you something else, and I'm very, very proud of this. So we, Mike Shore asked us to do a couple takes, just improv. And so now I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I'm going to get to improv with Amy Poehler, right? Like this is a massive dream come true. And we just start, and it's easy. And the thing that I'm proud of is that I made Amy Poehler laugh. It's one of my finest moments. So proud.
Yay, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
you should be proud.
Absolutely. What a dream. What a thing you could put on your tombstone.
Yeah.
Made Amy Poehler laugh.
Yes. For real.
Oh my gosh, I love
Aw.
that. And I love that he's just like, he sounds excited too, telling us these secrets and stories.
Mhm.
I really love that so much. Oh my God.
Yeah. Agreed. So nice.
All right, let's listen to the next one.
I saw online that there was some discussion about Liam's name tag, and it was upside down. It's so interesting because I remember them bringing the name tag over and putting it on me. And I think Mike Shore was there. And honestly, I think he goes, just put it upside down. Like, I don't think that there was really any forethought to it. I think maybe it was a decision at the moment, and it has caused quite the discussion online as to what it means. One of the things I saw was, that he's the bad boy, so he will not conform to the way things should be. And that's an interesting take, and I like that. I don't know, I also think that it shows that, he plays at being cool, but he's not so cool, like not so cool that he can't even put his name tag on right. I don't know. So it's just two different ways to look at it. But I think it's funny how something on the day that seemed so insignificant. I mean, it was funny, certainly funny, right? But there wasn't a whole lot of discussion about it. But it's caused quite a stir online. It's funny.
Oh my gosh, that is really funny. It seems like
Yeah.
there's a lot going on with the name tags because that's what Rebecca Veruvian's was messed up too.
Yeah.
But also, like, I could see Mike Schur saying that to have it upside down. Like, who cares? Whatever. He doesn't even care that he's here and that he's like famous in the Department of Interior world. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But at the same time, to Joe's point, it's like, but he also works for the government in this bureaucratic thing. space, so maybe he's not as cool as he thinks he is, but he's just cool in this small circle. I don't know. And also, yeah, totally. The fans go crazy with finding those kinds of little Easter eggs. Well, not even Easter eggs, but just like goofs, mess ups. Like they pick apart each episode like second by second. So like we do in a lot of ways. So the fans will definitely figure that out and then try to create some backstory to it when really it probably doesn't mean anything at all. We've done multiple times. Oh, love that.
We're good at that.
Yes. I think we are. I think we create very believable circumstances for like mess ups in the show. We give them a lot of grace, which, that's what fans do.
Yeah,
or they should do anyway. Like, I don't think there's any really merit or like point in criticizing your favorite thing. Like, I do criticize the Anne plot line. I will give you that. I do that. But I think that's, at least it's constructive for the most part, because I know Amy just talked about this too, where writers get so many notes and then it's just like so mean in a way. Like they just get this feedback and there's no like, they don't give a solution. The person that's, giving the feedback, it's not constructive. It's just straight up criticism. And it's just like, well, you didn't do this right. You need to fix it kind of vibes, instead of like, what if we did XYZ instead? Which makes total sense. In any business, you should do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just acting or entertaining or writing or whatever, but like, especially in those circumstances when you don't have the skill to do that, like you could at least offer some sort of solution, like even if it's not fully fleshed out,
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so this is the last one. Thank you, Joe Souza, so much. This is so exciting.
So since you're going to give me the opportunity to promote, I'll do the shameless promotion. I have a movie out now. I did it with, a movie. I have a scene in a movie called All That We Love. It's on Amazon Prime with Margaret Cho and Jesse Tyler Ferguson from Modern Family. I have a scene in there with both of them, and I actually get to sing a Cher song with Margaret Cho, and that was tons and tons of fun. Listen, don't bother to watch it for me, but it's a really, really great movie, and it's really heartwarming, and Margaret Cho is fantastic, so it is absolutely worth watching. I finished shooting a movie a few, 2 months ago, called Supermassive, that they are getting ready now and should be coming out soon. So that's Supermassive, and that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So I hope that you get to see it. Gosh, I guess that's it. But listen, this was a whole lot of fun. A walk down memory lane, and I really do appreciate you asking me to come on here and talk about myself, because, well, who doesn't like to do that, right? But just to relive this great memory in my career. What I was thinking when my agent told me about this, I go, this is a great opportunity to maybe get some hubbub going about maybe having Liam Bonneville do a spin-off of Parks and Rec. I don't know. Mull it over. Think it might be pretty good. But regardless, I appreciate it. This is a great show, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute and so nice.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, those are great. And he's got a great voice for a podcast or
that was
anything
he's
like
in
that.
a podcast right now. Well, I mean, it's not recent, but that was one of the things I mentioned that he was in. So yeah, that would totally make sense.
Yeah.
And oh, Joe, if only I was responsible for creating these spinoffs and had the producer's ears, I would 100% fight for that. That would be so fun. I also think that Liam Bonneville could absolutely have come back for season 7 to give some sort of structure or advice to Leslie. I don't know. But I mean, Leslie's got her own thing that she has to deal with, so I get it. But yeah, I 100% agree. And those were such great voice memos. How exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I cannot believe, I mean, I can believe it, but it's amazing that we got to meet Leslie's idol in Liam Bonneville, and that the writers brought him back. And by brought him back, I mean, they're giving the face to a lot of what we've talked about. Like, same thing with Genuine. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about Genuine, but now he's actually going to be on the show. What the fuck? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. We really appreciate it. We'll post all your information in the show notes and tag you and all the things so that everyone can follow and watch the movies. I love Margaret Cho. And yeah, another
Mm-hmm.
Modern Family crossover. We were talking about Modern Family earlier, so that's funny. Okay. Oh, okay. So Grant says, you're treating these people like your idols, but they could be your peers. And I think that that's a really important line because Leslie is not really seeing it that way right now. Like she's stuck in this box that she's built for herself. Plus, like, of course, the idea that she can go even bigger than Pawnee is insane to her because we know how much she loves it and how much it's kind of her end game. So I think it's really interesting that Grant points this out to her.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he needs an answer by tomorrow. And so Leslie's like, I'd be insane not to. Because at this point, and I do this too, I think a lot of people do this, where she's just making excuses not to take it. Like she's thought it through, she's been logical, she did all of her pros and cons, I feel. But right now she's just kind of scared. And it's just like the fear that's holding her back. Because it's not as if this is coming out of nowhere. Like she's had time to think about it.
Yeah.
She has all her binders, all that kind of stuff. So
he's given her plenty of time.
Yes, 100%. I agree. Oh my God. But speaking of idols, this is the part where we all freak out collectively. Michelle Obama comes in. And are you freaking kidding me? I wrote this in all caps. I was like, this is incredible. Truly top Amy Poehler moment of all time. Like,
yes.
The way that she reacts to Michelle Obama. You are from Chicago, so you like it.
Yeah. This is how I imagined myself meeting Amy Poehler.
Yeah. Yes, the roles would be reversed.
Yes. Oh my gosh. But like, I think we reflect on this even more now because of the current situation we're in. But she is, Michelle Obama, such a class act and just amazing. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. Her spirit is beautiful. Like the way she holds herself and talks to people. And yeah, I absolutely loved her when she was the first lady. And I continue to just idolize her as a person. And people make jokes all the time. I mean, Barack would make jokes. Obama would make jokes about how like she was really running the show, right? Like, so yeah, I just love her. I cannot believe they got her on the show while she was a sitting first lady. Amazing.
Literally insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Love it.
Second to all of the things that you said, I totally agree. I did a little bit of a breakdown on her too because it's not a ton because there's just so much to cover and you should really read her books. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. Her books are fantastic. The first one's Becoming and the second, or maybe that's the second one. Regardless, I read Becoming. I haven't read the other one yet. And they're so fantastic discussing her family, how important they are. She has a podcast also with her brother that I can't remember the name of, but I'm sure if you just typed in her name, it'll come up. And it's really good. I've listened to a few episodes. It's really, really good. And they go on other people's podcasts too and talk about their relationship. But we find out that Michelle Obama works with Grant in the canon of the show all the time because they incorporate her program, Let's Move, into the national parks, getting kids outside, hiking, rock climbing, so beautiful. And again, same thing for me that you said here. I was like, oh my God, she is just creating such a legacy and doing so good for the country, such good for the country. Like I said, she is on Good Hang with Amy Poehler, and she told a story of how like Amy spit or something in this scene. And luckily Michelle Obama did not remember, but it's a must listen. So I'll post that in the show notes too, so you guys can listen. But I don't actually think this is like where I get really like almost not emotional, but also just like really passionate about this because I don't think people understand how important and huge Let's Move was.
Oh my gosh.
Premise changed the country. It really did for kids across the nation. The premise to help kids be healthier and to fight childhood obesity, one of the guidelines was that kids need to be exercising, moving, playing for 60 minutes a day, and for adults at least 30 minutes. There's even a portion on the website. The website's fantastic. I'm going to post that too. It has since been closed because of, we are not in that administration anymore, sadly. But there's even a portion in there that says, that sounds like a lot, but on average, kids spend 7.5 hours on video games, media, entertainment, all that kind of stuff, screens.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not a lot in comparison to the amount of time that you're just sitting there. And under Let's Move, there was also the portion called My Plate, which is still used today as a cornerstone of nutritional guidance for kids. She started the Every Kid in a Park program, which was under Let's Move, and it provided free access and program events for parks around the country. It also created a standard for school lunches, and vending machines had healthier choices. And this is from their website. I just copied and pasted this portion. Combining comprehensive strategies with common sense, Let's Move is about putting children on the path to a healthy future during their earliest months and years, giving parents helpful information and fostering environments that support healthy choices, providing healthier foods in our schools, ensuring that every family has access to healthy, affordable food, and helping kids become more physically active. There's also a website about how much sugar the average child/teen has compared to processed foods and all that. Compared to how much time we spend on screens. And it just really fostered such a healthy relationship and accessible for not only the kids, but for the parents. There's like worksheets for both the parents and the kids to like help you understand how to do this. Because being a parent is obviously so hard and there's so many things to think about. And so you have to have those resources to be like, what can you do? She was also in schools herself. Like she visited schools, she visited parks, she was so involved. It really relates back to Leslie's first initial thesis where she was trying to cut sugar from the Paunchburger sodas or whatever, which I thought was such a fantastic callback there. And then, Leslie starting the farmer's market. Like, there's such a big reason why Leslie is such a huge fan of this and why it incorporates so well into the show. But as part of this research, and I knew it a little bit, but as part of the research on Let's Move, it almost makes me emotional because they criticized her so much for making this Let's Move program. And comparing to now's administration, this fuck all bullshit about making kids healthier when they literally cut funding for school lunches and cut funding for resources and health initiatives makes me so angry. Because why are we not giving the same criticism to fucking RFK, who's cutting vaccines, literally killing children with his vaccine mandates of measles and all these outbreaks and stuff? Like, it just blows my mind that he's cut scientific research and is not receiving near enough the criticism that he needs to, versus Michelle Obama, who is actually having all of these scientists and doctors and nutritional guidance and research from actual professionals in the industry, and changed our country, like changed our children's behaviors and nutritional guidance. And she's the one being like criticized. No, that's not to say of the people. I know I'm like, there were people that were very much on board with this. So it's not to say that everybody was, but the fact that there was such criticism really grates on my nerves because she changed and helped us so much.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact of the matter is, if you look at her intention was, let's make kids healthier. Like, how do you go against that? And then you add in all the research and everything, and it's just
and this whole
the chaos.
One of the totally chaos. One of the criticism was that it was government overreach in our schools and stuff, and I was like, oh, you're talking about government overreach? Are you fucking kidding me? Don't tread on me, my fucking ass. They're treading all over you. Like, you might as well on your license plate have tread all over me, daddy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. And the actionable items that, instead of bashing everyone else and bashing our systems, she was trying to change it, which and she did change it. And I just think I'm so proud of Parks and Rec for having her on there. I'm proud of Michelle Obama, and I really respect her in such a way. I mean, even before this research, but now that I see, and that's all it takes, you guys, is a little bit of research, and you will find what you believe in and what you support. God forbid you fucking Google something and find the real facts. Insane, right?
I just, yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
you know how I feel about so many of these things coming from a research-based field initially.
100%.
Just the anger. Like, Holly has listened to many angry rants via voice memo.
And
around
vice versa.
All of this stuff. And yes. And so,
it's crazy. So thinking about how the country has backslid in this way and how far it's going to take us to get back on track is very disheartening. I know it's possible. There is hope out there. If you're in Virginia, by the way, vote for the redistricting plan that happened. Early voting has started, so get on it, which has nothing to do with Let's Move. It just has to do with our country moving forward. And like, I see the potential of America. Like,
Moving
America
up.
is moving up. America, come on.
Full
We can
circle.
do this. Oh my God. Okay, so that's Michelle Obama. Thank you so much to the writers for giving us this beautiful gift of Michelle Obama coming onto Parks and Rec. It's amazing.
And we love you, Michelle Obama. And if you would like to come on our show, please come on our show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. Love you. And yeah, just a reminder too to go to your parks. I mean,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't even have to be a national park. You just go to your local park, dude. Support it. It's like it's so worth it.
I'll just throw it out there too. Like, I didn't appreciate our parks until I had a kid. And
totally.
It makes me wish I had taken a book to a bench at a park before we had Killy, because now I have to run and chase him everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful that like our local governments have given us grass to and sidewalks so we can go on nice walks and strolls in the midst of nature. It's so peaceful. For free.
For free, 99. Hello. And like playgrounds that are upkept for the most part.
Yeah.
For your kids. Like, yeah, there's a park down the street that we go to walk at, my mom and I. And it's like there's a baseball field, playground, soccer field. There's like a little museum in there because like they did Gold Rush stuff there. And like it's great. So highly recommend. Highly recommend. And yeah, that's a great point that kids, I see kids there all the time, like after school hours or whatever, like with their parents. Yeah, it's a great option.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Andy's going to skateboard down this huge San Fran hill and we're all scared for him, but then he just pushes it down, like just the skateboard, not him, on it. Andy loves it.
Yeah, he's all for it. This always reminds me of the whiskey scene from Hot Rod.
Oh, yeah. What way?
Saying what way?
Oh my God.
Weird. So good.
Yes. So here's this big moment, okay, where Leslie makes her decision. She tells Ben finally that she is going to take the job. She can make a difference. There's so much of the world to see. And Michelle Obama, I think, was a huge part of that. She doesn't say it explicitly. She just says she met Michelle Obama. Like, no big deal, whatever. She says that at the end.
She's like, lead with that next time.
Right. Exactly. So, and yeah, I think that was a big deal. And I don't think that was on purpose on Grant's part. I think Michelle Obama was just walking around, but still, that really helped. And Grant, I love the way that, I think Brady is his name. I love the way he played that too, where he just was like, yeah, that's Michelle Obama and you could be with her. Like it really isn't out of reach, you know?
Right. Yeah. Your dreams are closer than you think they are.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back at Tom's Bistro. We've got 10 tables booked for the soft opening. No staff. So April's going to be in charge of service. I literally wrote, no, not April, who has no charm or like bedside manner to talk to customers. Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah, this is where I start going, Tom, here are your red flags of why you wait, right? Because you see how successful he could be. Like, this is such a cool space. Like, taking a look at it with stuff actually starting to come in it and everything. It's like, this could be such a cool, vibey restaurant. Please don't ruin it by rushing it.
I know. Ugh. And then, oh my God, Craig and Donna have to work together for the wine tasting portion because Craig doesn't have his like smell senses or whatever the fuck because of the dust from the chairs. That's not going to go well because Donna clearly says she doesn't want to be yelled at. And that's...
Yeah. Tom's like, please don't stick to that policy.
Right.
Like, because he's just going to lose it.
Oh my God. And then the icing on the cake, Jerry Larry comes in with these menus. They all have pictures of his dog's rectum. They really do a good job of like yanking us back and forth on whether or not we like Jerry Larry because I was so mad at him. I love Jerry Larry because I'm like, oh, like I'm rooting for the
Poor
underdog.
guy.
You do a good job.
Yeah.
But fuck, why couldn't you proofread that? Why didn't you see that you sent the wrong fucking pictures?
Yeah, it's like, it's basic. Ugh.
And it could happen to
How do you-
anybody. That's the thing. Like, anybody really could have done that. But the fact that it's Jerry Larry makes you think, like, did you
Makes it-
even
yeah.
work on this? Did you even
Yeah.
try?
Yeah. It makes it worse for Tom, too.
Well, and yeah, because he did all that paperwork for the tent stuff. That's what I mean by, like, they jerk us back and forth, because I'm like, you did a really good job being detail oriented. That was way more involved in, like, than these menus. Like, how did you
Yeah.
mess this up? Hopefully they can get their money back. But
Jerry
this
Larry Terry is all over the place all the time.
all the time. Yeah, exactly. That's his MO. He's just, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. But this reminded me of the time that Leslie tried to print her campaign sign and it was a link to the photo instead of the actual photo.
That's what I thought of too. Yeah. So
Using, yes, it's so funny. What did she say? Like, using
basic human logic.
Basic human logic. Yes, thank you.
One could surmise
that is not what I wanted printed. And that employee is so good.
Yeah, it's
like,
just one of my favorite. Because that line crosses my head all the time, but you can't say it out loud.
And people don't have basic human logic a lot of the time. So
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Tom says that April's going to have to list all the menu items from memory. It'll be more classy anyway. Like, oh my God. And then Ron broke a chair
No.
because it looked too perfect. Like, this is not going well.
Yeah. It's because Tom's asking a lot of his friends here, and I know that they're going to help him. Part of me is like, Ron, why? Why would you break a perfectly good chair, let it make it through the opening, and then you can replace it?
100%.
But Tom's also getting really mad at them that they're not finishing stuff in time. But he also shortened their deadline by like 5 weeks. So I'm really torn where I'm like, Tom, you need to have some grace with them because you're asking a lot. But also like, Ron, logically, like, keep the perfect chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all a cluster. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all bad. It's a perfect storm of circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, so now back at Grizzle, we're still trying to convince Grizzle to give Pawnee free Wi-Fi. I love how passionate Ben is about this. Like, I need a Ben in my town to fight for free Wi-Fi for me. Maybe there are somewhere and they're behind the scenes. I should really look into that. But them leaving Pawnee really puts a fire under him, I think, to like get this done. This is going to be his, claim to fame legacy situation, which really makes sense. And then we get this amazing surprise again with the callbacks. This is exactly what we were talking about when this season finale brought back fucking everything.
Yeah.
Cones of Dunshire comes up. Amazing.
Yes.
We did not expect it to come up. They say someone gave it to them, and they don't believe him that he invented it when he's the architect. And I know I've said this before, I just love confident Ben. It's so sexy.
I know, it is. And he plays it so well. Adam Scott plays it so well. Like transitioning from dorky, quirky Ben to confident, like, I'm the architect Ben.
Yes, it reminds me of when he has calzones at the accounting office and like turn again with the Cones of Dunshire, and he turns back with the wink, and I was like, oh my God, Ben, don't look at me like that. Get me tingly. And then this line too, when he asks, when the Grizzle guy asks, like, you want to be the corporal or the warrior, and he's like, neither. I'm the maverick. And they're so in their characters at this point. It's like really amazing to watch. Like all of the Grizzle people and Adam Scott. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, they all do a great job.
So now back at the conference, Leslie's giving a presentation called Merger, she wrote, which I love. Logistical challenges in mid-range municipal consolidations. Sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but if I'm honest, I did research it because I was like, did they just throw a bunch of government vocabulary words into one sentence? Like, is that real? Which, yes, they did technically, but it's not like word salad. This is a real title that would be used in the merging of cities, which I have more research on that later. We'll get to it. But Leslie says 6 to 12 months is her timeline for the fully integrated merger between Pawnee and Eagleton. And we have an audience member that starts laughing. Well, I say audience member, but she's like in the, conference. And Leslie's like, I know, I think it was a good presentation. Like, is that why you're laughing? What's going on? And then this lady drops this bomb on her that says, like, this is not right. Your timeline's all off.
Yeah.
There's no way you'll be able to pull this off in 6 to 12 months. This actress is played by Jill Basie, and she's in Two Broke Girls, Horrible Bosses 2, Grace and Frankie. I love all those shows. Like, great work here. And let's see. Oh, most recently she was on It's Florida Man, which is an HBO show. I did reach out to her, and her reps replied back saying, thank you for the kind words about Jill's appearance, but she's not available to participate, but really wants to thank you for the invitation and all that kind of stuff. So that was nice, at least, that I got a response. And they just said thanks again for considering her. So yes, well done to her. She's so cute, and like she's so good laughing because she looks like this cute little lady, and then she kind of like has this critical moment where you're like, oh, that's coming out of nowhere. But she's right. I mean, I do think that we've all been a little bit of denial in a way, like myself included, thinking that she could just do the Unity concert and then it would just be done. I think that's what we would anticipate. Like, obviously there's going to be structural changes and all that kind of stuff, but we were kind of just thinking the Unity concert would at least get the town on the same page, and then the logistics are going to have to follow. But this feedback is shedding some light that this might take a really long time. And if she sticks to her plan of leaving when the merger's complete, she might never leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I like this because it's kind of a reality check. I think there's a lot of TV shows that run in TV timeline, movie world timeline. And so this call out of like, hey, in the real world, this is how long it takes is really, I think it's, I don't know, it just makes everything feel more real and more settled. And obviously creating more conflict for Leslie.
Yes, that's a great point. Yeah, very refreshing to see, like, this is not going to work, maybe, question mark, and like, what do we do here? Great writing too, to keep it going and to keep us, like, we thought, like, yanking us back and forth, like, we thought she was going to take it, she met Michelle Obama, oh my god, and now she's like, oh fuck, maybe not, you know? Let's see. Oh, so yeah, I wrote that this lady is harsh, but kind of sadly maybe has a point. And because she was in charge of a merger, started in 2004, and now it's 2014. So, well, like, again, if I'm going with the TV timeline, so 10 years, and Leslie's thinking it will take half a year to a year. Yikes. That's a lot more time. You know? And yeah, that's so funny. I wrote that cavalier is not a word I'd use for Leslie either, but just to be sure, I wanted to make sure what it meant. And the official definition is a nonchalant, careless, or arrogant attitude, often suggesting a disdainful disregard for important matters or others' feelings. And I was like, yeah, that's not Leslie.
Yeah, no.
Side note, funny tidbit, as a noun, it refers to a gallant gentleman, a knight, or specifically a royalist supporter of Charles I in the English Civil War. It also commonly refers to the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel dog breed.
Huh. I don't know why my brain thought it was a medieval word, but that's...
it's a royal word, so somewhere in the same vein.
Yeah.
But then Leslie says, like, well, I have a system. Like, it will work with my system. But then this other guy at the presentation says, well, I had a system too. But then the economy hit and they lost their cityhood and his town turned into an unincorporated territory. And he's like, hey, you need 8 to 10 years minimum to see this through. And then with the combination of saying, like, you need hands-on work when she's planning on not being there, like, what a wrench in the plans. Like, she was ready to go.
I forgot he said 8 to 10 years.
Yeah. So with the other lady saying 10 years and him saying 8 to 10 years. Oh my God. And then unincorporated territory, which like is the worst nightmare for Leslie.
Yeah. I mean, now it's just like she's in fear.
Exactly.
She's going to go into fight or flight mode.
Yeah. And I did want to look. Okay, so I looked this up very briefly because I wanted to know if this was true about the time frame. Like, is that real? And most articles I found, now granted I looked up like 3 articles, but most articles I found did say that 6 months to several years. 6 months is like a very small, like, you know, this is not that much work kind of vibe. But that 6 months is like on the positive minimalist side, you know what I mean? Like, several years is really going to be what it is, depending on how involved it is. And with Leslie, like, you can probably feasibly shave off a year tops because she is so organized and her work ethic is like unmatched and quite frankly a little unhinged. But it's definitely going to take longer than a year, which is what she had the plan for. And
Right.
ironically, I found an article about a Virginia town. Like, this does happen more than we think, merging towns. So I'm going to post this in the show notes, but just briefly, like a little key takeaway thing. Merging towns is a complex process that can take from 6 months to several years to finalize, and it involves negotiations, legal and fiscal, which we've kind of gone through, but I didn't think about the legal one. We've done the fiscal stuff with all of Eagleton's bills. In real-world contexts, such as in Virginia, these discussions often arise to address financial stress in smaller cities, with merging surrounding counties being a long-term solution. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
This happens like more than I think we think about. The fact that I even found multiple articles like explaining this.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. So the key takeaways that I found was that mergers are rarely fast. They're usually longer than you think. The process depends heavily on the complexity of merging services, tax bases, and political negotiations, which is so true, the tax thing, because that's regarding property. Like, if you were to sell or buy houses, like now, that's a whole thing. Like, the parcel of your lot is way more involved, and how you file that and index that online for registers of deeds offices for your deed to be filed. That all depends on your tax parcel, which is crazy. Political negotiations of like who's going to run which part of the town. And then the structural changes to the local government and how you're going to merge both city halls. Because we didn't even really get to that part. We haven't even talked about like, yes, we'd had the doppelgangers. We had those people and there were some layoffs and things like that. But the people that were left, we haven't really discussed like where they're going into each part, except for Craig, you know? So think about all the people that Eagleton has and who they have to merge into the town. It's a lot.
It is, yeah. A lot of logistics.
Yes. So the fellow that talked about the unincorporated territory is played by Barry Ford, and he was so great. But sadly, again, he passed away in 2017. Oh. So a lot of rest in peace, people, for Parks this episode. Yeah. He died just 3 years after this aired, which was so sad. But he was so good. He was a native Californian. He has a range of dialects, which is fun. He did a ton of theater. He started acting in 1945. Amazing.
Wow.
He was in the Green Hornet TV series in 1967. Looks like a bunch of 60s, 70s action movies. Felony Squad, Combat, Hogan's Heroes. In modern day, he was in the show Blackish. Great journeyman actor. And he was 84 years old. And which in this episode, he was 84. And I was like, you seem so sprite and like...
Yeah.
Fully capable of everything. And he also worked in... internet and video games. If you play video games, he was in the game Dungeon Siege the Third or Dungeon Siege 3. His character is Dapper Old Gent. That's his character name. And then online it says he died from undisclosed causes, so I'm not really sure how he passed away, but well done. We respect and applaud you. Okay, so now at Tom's Bistro, we're at the soft opening and people are there, which is great. But Donna and Craig are having a moment, and Craig basically acts like he's drunk all the time, I feel. Like, getting angry, then expressing his love, and like, I'm so mad at you, but I love you. A man without a palate. Is it a man? I love you, Donna.
Yeah.
And then the chairs aren't ready. Like, oh, God. And then they're really making a meal out of how terrible and incompetent Jerry is. Like, I was really rooting for him, but then he breaks all the glasses, and then he breaks a chair. The investor sees this, and it's awful.
It's just downhill from here.
Yes. Also, like, all the stemware that he's going to have to replace, that's so fucked. But you kind of do see, like, Tom being a good manager / owner, where he's like, you know what, it's fine. And then coming up with things on the fly of A, it was like it's a good luck to break glassware on the first day, and B, like, it will be more classy for April to recite the things. Like, that was a good solution if it was anyone but April, I feel.
Yeah. For real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you have anything before we move on from that scene?
That scene was just them preparing for this is I'm just making sure I'm not missing April actually interacting with
Okay.
the.
No, we haven't gotten
Okay.
there yet.
Okay. Just want to make sure. In my head, I can't remember if that's all in one scene or if we go somewhere else and then come
Yeah.
back. So sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, so now we're in a heated Cones of Dunshire game. Everyone is watching. Love all this random ass terminology, resource gems, shaman, all this stuff. I love this shot of Ben and looking over his cones. Yeah. It's so fierce. It's so good.
It is.
So Game of Thrones vibes.
It's very, yeah. Yeah, he's in control. You can
Absolutely. Okay, this is the part that I was shocked by. This is when I texted you about there were an added scene, cut scene, replaced scene. This was a straight up replaced scene. It was not.
Okay.
They had two versions of this, apparently. And it is completely different from what was originally aired. And the original air is the best. This was the part that I was looking forward to because it's one of my favorite Adam Scott moments. So on Peacock, okay, you know, this guy thinks he's won. He thinks he's the best because Ben has no more resource gems left and he's laughing. Everyone's with him. And we think, you know, this bully grizzled man got away with it. And he offers his hand and Ben says, like, I'm offering you a draw. And the other guy doesn't take it. So Ben's like, okay, whatever. You asked for it. You had the chance. And then he wins by bringing his humble farmer to the cone. Now, do you remember the original version?
No, but I could tell that this was not right. He does talk through his moves, right, in the original. But I don't remember him. He doesn't offer him a draw.
Right. The draw was not there. Okay, let me play the original Cones cut. This is the original one.
Resource gems. Uh-oh. What's so funny?
Oh, no. You're a smart guy. Clearly picked up some flashy tricks, but you made one crucial mistake. You forgot about the essence of the game. It's about the cones. Move my abbot to the ocean hex, which moves my brinksman to the devil's lair and pushes my farmer, yes, my humble farmer, directly into the central cone.
The cone is knocked off.
Yeah.
And he wins. That to me, there's no question that one is better.
I 100% agree with you. This whole scene, like, I didn't know that it was cut and replaced, but this whole scene felt off to me. I was like, I knew the handshake was new, but like I couldn't put a finger on it. So the fact that you're saying that it was actually completely cut out and replaced by a different scene makes me feel much better because I remember in the one that I watched on Peacock, he says, just roll, or he says, go ahead and roll. And Ben's like, oh, I will, or whatever. And that felt off to me too, but I couldn't place why it felt off.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just so badass the way
that's
played.
exactly what I was thinking, because it goes with that fierce shot of him looking at the cones that makes so much more sense. And then this soft, creepy, all-knowing laughter that he's a king in Game of Thrones, and him just knowing so much more than this guy because he truly is the fucking architect. How dare you say that I didn't invent this? It's just so much more Ben too. Like, I don't really understand why you'd offer a draw anyway, just to make the other guy feel better. Like, you wouldn't be able to get the free Wi-Fi if you offered him a draw and he took it. Like, because it seemed genuine. Like, it didn't seem like, I'll offer you a draw, bitch. And like, he's not expecting him to take the draw. He like expects him to take the draw in a way, I feel. And I just felt like the one that I just played, the original, is the alignment with like the character of Ben. So yeah, I don't know the backstory of why they did that.
Yeah, me either. Interesting.
I will say, yes, very interesting. I will say I did find online that this draw moment, like the one that they ended up airing, is a near line-for-line remake of the final scene in Searching for Bobby Fischer, which is when the protagonist Josh offers his nemesis a draw that he refuses before going on to beat him. And I've never seen that before. I'm very sorry. But if you have seen that before, you'll probably, see the similarity, and maybe a writer was like paying homage to them at a point. But I just feel like it's still, either one paints Ben as the better guy regardless. So like, I don't know why they did that. It's so interesting. So I was like, oh my God, I caught something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
weird.
Very weird.
So
And
that
we
would be
end with
another
an ad
question.
too.
And end with what?
We end with another ad too, where Andy's going to go back to the haircuts.
Oh, yes, exactly. They build on that. That's yes. Yeah, so that would be another Mike Schur question.
Yes.
All right. So back at Tom's Bistro, our investor guy is clearly seeing how poorly this is going. April's bad at serving. I think this is the part where the Lamborghini, Bucatini, all that kind of stuff
Yes.
comes in.
Ferrari.
Right, Ferrari.
I can't.
Oh, and then Larry makes it even worse and comes over and starts talking about how Lord Sheldon's anus is going to be fine.
Somebody should have just sent him home.
Seriously, great point. That is what you should have done. Like, just get out of here. And then Ron's chair wasn't finished drying, so now this investor guy's suit is destroyed. Thankfully, he's walking out, so we don't have to say anything to him about it, but oh my God. And it is good that Lord Sheldon's going to be okay, but damn, save that for later, homie. Like, what?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's not right now news. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, again, this is where Mitch is like, you don't know what you're doing, even though he totally does. He just overshot. And I mean, as an investor, I feel like that's perfectly within his reason to be like, I can't put all my money in this if this is how it's going to go, you know?
Yeah, but on the other hand, I also, like, in my head, I totally also agree that there is this side of like, yeah, this is how my money's being spent, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side of me is like, you didn't ask any questions about like, well, why didn't it work? You know, there wasn't any like help to try to figure it out. Sometimes there's like silent investors where you just give the money and you can pull out. But this felt more like it should have been a partnership where it's like, hey, this is a clear sign to me that we're not ready for the Unity concert. So let's just shoot for our original opening date. Because to just completely walk out on him.
Yeah.
When
Also,
we
I wonder
knew
if
that
they
this was a
signed
stretch.
anything.
That's what. Okay, I also have a note about that. Like, what is the contract?
Yeah, 100%.
So, but I think there's some meaningfulness to it too about having him walk out and that Tom does it on his own in the next part. So,
yeah,
there's a toss up there. I get the story behind it, but I'm also like, bro, you're just gonna walk out.
Yeah. I know. I'm thinking of like the Shark Tank investors. This is what the Shark Tank investors would do. They would absolutely just be like, no, you fucked up. Goodbye. I just feel like they would, because my mom watches that show in the background and I hear some of them and I'm like, you're in the, okay. Like that. I guess that's what it's about.
Yeah, no. And I think that's like the perfect marriage of both of our sides of it is that a lot of times the sharks are giving advice too. They're helping them be successful.
Yeah.
But if they're seeing signs of like, you're not even doing your part or you're not taking my advice, then they pull out. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Bummer for Tom. It sucks. It just all went so sadly. This reminds me also of when Erin in the office says that she's taking an Italian class and it's just like where she goes to an Italian restaurant. So far I've learned linguine or whatever pasta name.
Yeah. So funny.
Okay. So now we're headed to the airport, and Ben is saying that apparently the Cones of Dunshire game has spread. It's all over the internet. It's all over major cities of the country, and Ben is bummed, but we, the audience, know this is a nice foreshadowing moment about the copywriting because he will eventually get that. So we'll circle back to that. And then Pawnee will get the free wireless because of the game. So that was a really nice closure moment. We love that. We can both leave with good conscience, but Leslie is super bummed because she can't leave Pawnee now with this difficult merger that she's responsible for. But also, like, she saved a town. I just wish that she'd recognize that, too. Like, you did a big thing. Like, you're not really leaving it to fend for itself. Like, you have people there that would help you. But I get what she's saying. Like, so now she says that she has to turn
feels like her baby
down the job. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Oh my God, this part I feel was cut too, where Leslie says, why haven't we gotten to human cloning? And she talks about Dolly the sheep. I was like, oh my God, I love that. Are you familiar with Dolly the sheep?
Oh yeah. And I can't believe it was 20 years ago when they filmed that.
I know. Insane. Oh my God. Let's see. Okay, this taxi driver. Side note, this is another thing I really loved about this episode. Oh my God, so many things. This taxi driver is definitely the same taxi driver as the limo driver when Andy takes April to prom. And Andy thinks all the things are free, and the limo driver has the no, it's not It's not free. But oh my gosh, that episode, if you remember, I was trying to figure out who the hell this guy was because there were so many different like discrepancies on IMDb, like having a picture of a dude and then the name was wrong after I researched it. But this, I have gotten closure. This is Doug Smith. I'm so glad he's in the episode so I could have this moment. But I was getting it confused because I think I had called him Doug Jones at one point. And Doug Jones is the creature actor, not him. And regardless, this is Doug Smith, who is on the crew for Parks. And I just think I got the name Smith and Jones confused because they're both so common. Because I feel like there was a Jones last name in another actor. Anyway, I cleared it up, and this is Doug Smith. So I love that he got to come back. I also love that he had some cut scenes that were actually aired in the Peacock version, or some cut lines, rather. So I really love that.
Yeah, so good.
And this is, again, where Ben's like, we're not leaving until we make a decision, which I believe is also cut because when Amy says, or when Leslie says, we'll miss our flight, like, it's fine, whatever. Or no, Ben says this. And I actually love that they did this because I definitely, as an anxious airport person, was like, how are you keeping on circling around in here? Like, you guys are not going to make your flight. So I'm glad that they mentioned it. And I don't know if this is the best solution to pressure her, like putting her on the spot like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that definitely was added. I had that note too, but
yeah,
I agree with you. But I do like that he's like, we're gonna go look at this thing. Like,
yes,
I love that idea.
Context.
I don't love we're not going back to Pawnee until we have an answer.
Yes, he has a solution, like we were talking about before.
Yes.
He's not just like fix it. He like shows her how to get to the solution. Yes,
right.
Great point. Okay, so back at Tom's Bistro, Ron is like, okay, whatever, you screwed up. Who cares? Like, you tried to shoot the moon and it didn't work. His pocket square says billionaire. Love that. And Tom says he's going to quit. And he explains that, you know, when he was in kindergarten, whatever the hell, he just took his ball and went home.
Yeah.
When he lost in grade school. And then this is where April makes up for her bad service, like, and uses her lying for good, essentially, by calling a bunch of reviewers and saying the soft opening of Tom's Bistro went really well and they should all come on Friday. Which I do love that April brings it back here because, and I love seeing them all stick up for each other because I do feel like April sucked in that moment for a little bit when she was serving.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's in her character, but I was like, oh dear. Which, and some of that's Tom's fault. Like, even Donna could have done that. Like, somebody else could have done that.
Yeah.
That was a client-facing thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agreed.
That April might not have been the best at. But, and this is kind of also another part where I think it's great that Leslie had a lot of influence on Tom because it's a big deal to do all of this with your friends, and the friends showed up for each other and are working together, and April's right that he deserves a real shot. Like, this wasn't a real shot, honestly. Like, it was half-assed, as you've said. But we deserve to see where it goes once we try for real, you know?
Yeah.
And $16,000 for chairs? Oh, my God.
That's also added.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
Yeah. And I'm like, Ron, you knew he was working in a budget. You should have chosen, like, you should have gone to Home Depot. You didn't need to go chop trees down.
Oh, my God.
What are we doing?
So back at the Cap, Ron would never do that, though.
Yeah, true. He has standards, his standards. Yeah.
So back in the cab, the taxi driver has some cut lines that we talked about where they definitely did not air this in the original version. So that's really fun. And he's kind of making it worse because he can see both sides. Like, how can you not take the job? But also, how can you leave where you put roots down? I thought that was funny. And then this was the part that I remember, like, originally airing, where she's like, I'm just going to die here in this cab at the San Francisco airport. And side note, this was filmed at the Burbank Airport in Los Angeles. So if anyone lives near that, it's super fun and cute. And you can have a little history if you drive by there or if you have a flight from there. That's where Amy and Ben were. And I love this part of Amy doing such a good job acting. Like, she really has that look on her face of like, I hate this. I cannot decide. This is kind of like eating her alive. Like, what the hell do I do? And then this is where Ben says to drive here, and we know where he's going to go. So that's very exciting.
Yes.
And he's on Endor from Star Wars. They're at the Redwood
Yeah.
Forest. George Lucas used these for his for Star Wars, and it's also a fun fact that there's like a gag reel where a Wookiee comes up to like chase Ben. It's so funny
Yeah.
because I don't know who it is. It must have been one of the crew members or something that did that as a prank, but I thought that was so
That's
funny
so
to see in the
funny.
gag reel.
Oh my gosh. I want to go to the Redwoods so badly. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah, it does. I think I'm trying to think. I feel like I did that during Yosemite, but it was just like a small portion. I don't think I went exactly where they went. I don't think. But yeah, I would love to go back and just remember it as an adult because I feel like I was younger. Okay, so I was wondering, now we're at the San Francisco Bridge where Ben decided to take her. And I was wondering why they didn't originally come here in the first place. Like, maybe they didn't have time with the conference in Grizzle, but I was like, you're in San Francisco. Like, why haven't you been here? But maybe they did as a backstory and they just didn't film it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Good question.
But the real reason why we're here at the Golden Gate Bridge really is magnificent. And Ben reminds her that she's been thinking about this in the abstract, but like, think about what it actually means. Like, you're actually standing in a national park, and you would be in charge of this whole region. And Ben is so good here. Adam Scott is really good here. And the writers, like all that combination of the crew and the cast coming together is so beautiful. It's such a wonderful speech. Like, helping anyone you love to really imagine it tangibly instead of just thinking of it like abstractly, if you can, which is not always an option. But if you can go to the actual place that you'd be working, living, doing the thing, like it just is a really nice show of love and solidarity there, I think.
Yeah. Agreed.
I actually would really like to listen to Ben's speech, and I recorded it because I think it's so beautiful. So let's just listen to it really fast.
Okay.
You've been thinking about this job in the abstract. Focus on what it actually means. We're standing in a national park that stretches 50 miles. That's a Presidio over there. It's a national park. So is Alcatraz, and so are the redwoods we just walked through, by the way. You take this job, places like this will be your office.
Well, that is a compelling point.
When we got back from London, you said that it's a very big world and you've seen very little of it. This is your chance, honey. This whole region, Mount Rushmore, the Badlands, the Ozarks, Abe Lincoln's childhood home, you would be in charge of all of it. Your job would be to preserve the most beautiful places on Earth so millions of people could enjoy them. And those places, the greatest treasures America has to offer, will all have signs with your name right there.
Hi, Grant. I want the job.
Oh my God. Like, fucking mic drop. That was so good.
Yeah, beautifully done. It shows you how much he knows what Leslie and what's important to her.
Yes, and to remind her also of what she herself has said. I think that's a good friend, a good spouse, when you can be like, you said that you wanted to see more, and like, this is your chance.
Here's your
because we get
opportunity.
so stuck in that box of like, I can't make the decision. And so it's really beautiful that he reminded her of that, and that the map is there to represent visually, like, this is the places where you would be, this is where your name would be, which is nice that Rebecca Veruvian's name is on that little plaque thing. It's really cute for the San Francisco region. But yeah, just super well done for that to wrap up her decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that she's pulling the trigger. She's calling. She's going to do it now. She knows this is the right decision, and she's going to figure everything else out. But she's not going to let the decision continue to hang there.
Right. And also, I was thinking too, like, I know she can't be as hands-on as she wants to, which is what those people at the conference were saying. But like, Indiana is a part of the Midwest, so like, she can still take a look at how the merger is going. She can still pop in, like, or be on the emails.
She can advise,
be a consultant in a way. Like, again, I know that that's wishful thinking because she's going to be so intense with her current duties or like her new duties or whatever. But like, it's not as if this is just going away. You know what I mean? Like, she can't ever talk to anyone ever again about how things are going. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
But it is the hands-on work that she wants to do. So like, I do understand her thoughts there.
Yeah.
And then this phone call to Grant. It's Lepster Knopf. I love you. Bye. Oh, So
priceless.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Love it.
So then we have, okay, so this is rounding out this episode. So we have the Larry, Jerry, Leslie moment. This is cut from the original too. Did you catch this?
Yes.
Okay, because this was like, what the fuck? I was like, no, I don't remember this. Leslie wants to practice telling people that she's leaving, and she wants to practice on Larry because it doesn't matter really, like for Larry.
His response isn't going to impact her the way everybody else's is.
That's exactly right. And this would be a good practice run. And Larry thinks that he's getting fired, but then Leslie starts crying because she gets too emotional with the news and she can't get the words out. And Larry takes that as Leslie loving him being around too much, so she can't fire him. And then April comes in crying because she wanted Larry to get fired, and so she's crying over still having to work with Larry. Why didn't you fire him?
Yeah.
And then Leslie's moment too of like, no, that's not even close.
Yeah.
When Jerry Larry says that reason why he thought he was called in. Oh my God. That was
So
good.
funny.
I wish they kept that in, but I get it for timing reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So the call
so
is
funny.
where that first episode like originally ended. And then we get to the second part. But like I said, it was 2 episodes. So like, and it was aired on the same night. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Back to back.
Back to back. Yeah. So, and it might have actually been like all one episode. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they cut in between parts actually, the way that this is. They may have, but I couldn't find that portion. But just know that it was all on the same night. It was not like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are... Yeah, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, we needed that. Okay, well, those are the end of my notes. Did you have anything left?
Those are the end of my notes as well. I'm excited to round out season 6.
Like I said, you guys, I could have done 4 episodes on, like, we could have split the first part into 2 episodes and this next episode next week into 2 or 3 episodes, to be completely honest, because there's just so much fucking things. A lot. And I don't want to cut anything out. Like, I don't want to not play those trailers or not play certain people's, like, voice memos or random Alcatraz shit I found, because I just think it's really fun and important. So hopefully you guys can just, like, pause this if you need to and listen to the next one. And hopefully our passion for this show shines through, because this was amazing. This series, season finale, almost series finale, was truly such a gift that they gave us.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. Go vote if you have elections in your state. Virginians, if you are a Virginian, look up your shit. Follow Fair Elections VA on Instagram if you are interested. Or if you're not a Virginian and you just want to know what's going on, you can do that too. There are midterm elections coming up too. And I know you guys think that voting doesn't really matter, but it does. It does. This one especially, because we've got to do something. Sometimes it feels like the world is just ending. Truly. But we'll try our best.
Yes, we will. Get out there.
Well, thank you guys so much. And yeah, speak up. Like, I really think it's important to speak up. Use that retweet function or repost function on your Instagram. Post on your stories. I know you guys think that social media is not going to turn the tide, but it will. So you need to be posting on your social media so that people know. And you need to be doing that for yourself as well so that you're informed. Okay? I know you need to take a break from social media sometimes, but we need to post some stuff so that people are aware and informed. It's just the way of the world these days. So... okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
See you next time.
Bye.
There's a Parkinson Pals, and there's also therapy too.